Warning. Warning. You are about to enter the propaganda report with Brad Binkley.
That's right.
Warning. Warning.
That's right. What's up, Bonnie? Can you hear me?
The propaganda report.
Bonnie, don't walk your dogs after midnight in Castleberry, please.
Warning. Warning. You are
Let me
about
know
to
the audio's
enter
working,
the
if you can.
propaganda report with Brad Binkley. Warning.
Once I get Josh, you just heard the music of Justin
You
Ridgway.
are about to enter
And now you're hearing the
propaganda
graphics
report with Brad Binkley.
of Josh Warren.
Warning. Warning.
He's not here tonight, you know. Josh Warren, as you guys saw in the last show, he was abducted or by an alien and assimilated as we tried to free him. But that's another subject for another day. Thank you for tuning in to the Propaganda Report. Good to see the audio is working well. We have a special show tonight. As some of you know, I've talked about it. We infiltrated a communist protest. A friend of mine that you guys have met, a fan favorite that's going to come on the show with us today to talk about it. Get this. There we go. Welcome back to the show. Kim, thank you for joining us. Thank you for going to what turns out to be a communist revolutionary protest that we infiltrated the other day. And you spoke to a lot of people at this protest. This was a May Day protest, and it was, what was it? It was billionaires versus, it was workers versus billionaires is what it was.
Workers over billionaires.
Workers over billionaires, yeah. And I personally, I've gone to a lot of these types of things, and I usually don't expect a lot. Usually it's a bunch of old people holding signs, walking around intersections. I'm hoping they don't get hit by cars. This was a very well-organized, well-attended, music, signs, well-coordinated. It kind of blew me away. What were your initial thoughts on this May Day protest that we attended?
I found it interesting that the overall vibe seemed to be to stimulate emotion rather than stimulate the rational mind. So all the slogans weren't exactly rational. They were emotionally charged, but they weren't exactly logical. Like a lot of the slogans I wanted to question. And I think some of the questions I asked were like, what do you think of this slogan? Or
which slogans, do you remember any of them specifically? I know they had you got one of the signs at one point. We're going to show some clips in a minute for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I just, they were all very much like anti-war, anti-Trump. These billionaires have got to go. So I thought it was interesting that it seemed like the overall goal was just to, it was anxiety inducing. You know, it felt like it was designed to elicit a strong emotional response as opposed to present logical ideas. I was also very struck by the answers to some of the questions, you know, like
you had a lot of great interviews.
And it seemed as though, because my whole question with protests is usually, what's the end game? What's the point? What do these people hope to actually accomplish? And so, you know, I asked questions along those lines, and a lot of folks didn't have a very clear answer.
No specifics for their answer. And similar, a week before the protest, we went and saw a documentary at the Atlanta Film Festival.
Similar theme.
Baristas over billionaires, or versus billionaires, one of the two. I don't know what they're over or they're versus. They're one of the two. Yeah. And it was a documentary about all these baristas unionizing against the billionaire, the guy who is one of the co-founders of Starbucks, who's actually a good guy. He's like one of the few self-made billionaires. And so they're like, screw this guy. But we saw one of the people there. So the DSA, the Democrat Socialists of America, are some of the people that are doing this documentary. And there's a tour. I saw an article yesterday about how this Oscar nominated or Oscar eligible.
Yeah.
All you got to do is make a movie and show it to be Oscar eligible. But
It sounds really fun when you say it that way.
I should say, you guys are probably wondering what's up with the mask. You guys can now get these fantastic masks at propagandafight.com. These will protect you from the hantavirus,
Yes.
as well as alien assimilation. So as long as you wear these masks, then you will feel empowered to continue to enjoy your cruise and to not get probed by aliens. Propagandafight.com. You can personalize your mask.
Yeah, you should invite people to comment. Like, what do you want?
What do you want to see on
custom
your mask?
To say.
I suggested mask up, fag. That was my suggestion. So we got these masks at the protest because a bunch of people. It was a symbol. We show up and there's all these people in red shirts and there's a bunch of tables, and then there's a bunch of people in masks. Maybe they release the hantavirus.
Yeah, that was another thing that was quite surprising to me was how many people were in masks in 2026 outdoors. Because I thought that most people realized at this point that the data showed that the masks were not very effective.
Whose data?
So I know, I guess whose data, right? Maybe the data was wrong, but I thought that was surprising that there were so many people still in masks in 2026.
It's because it became a symbol, I think.
Yeah, it's like a symbol for sure.
I think that's what made us stand out at first. Because we didn't blend in as well as I thought we would. Because I wasn't fully aware of the scope of this protest when we got there. I'm used to them being indivisible protests, but this one was. So you had the DSA, and then you had this group. We're going to show you a couple clips. We got like 20 minutes of clips. They're pretty interesting stuff. The Party for Socialism and Liberation, the PSL, was the other organizing group, and they had all these red shirts and communist red shirts. This is communist red Coca-Cola. I asked, where can we get a shirt? And they didn't tell us. But what we noticed quickly was that first person we asked, they said, well, I'm just like the water person.
Yeah, that was interesting too. Everybody had very specific roles. Everybody in the red shirts, it seemed like they had very specific roles and they were nervous.
That was what was really interesting.
They were nervous not to overstep their role, overstep their bounds. Because I remember we asked that one guy for water and he was like, oh, wait, no. I'm not the water guy.
I'm
not the water guy or whatever. That's not.
I'm the sign guy.
I have to stay in my lane.
Yeah, it was very much you stay in your lane, and there is a hierarchy where a need to know basis. Some of the clips I'll show you, I asked what happens next, and they were like, that's not. We're going to a meeting tomorrow. We don't know. And then some guys would just walk. I thought they were just walking away from me because I wasn't pretending to be gay initially. Because usually if you pretend to be gay at these things, and they'll just warm to you. But watching back through the clips, and look, I realized that I was asking all these commie reds, and we were being followed.
See, I didn't realize we were being followed, but after talking about it, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, the breakout rooms were also interesting.
Yeah. So let's hit that. We got there, and you'd never been to one of these before, right?
Yeah, this is my first time ever going to a protest. I've always been too nervous about some crazy violent thing happening. So.
And you had a shirt on that said, what did it say? It said you're not anxious, you're LGBT. I don't know. It said something weird like that. I bought the shirts. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it had a bunch of colors, and I guess the goal was to kind of blend in.
We were trying to signal. We thought it would be like that. We thought it would be like all of them. We show up, everybody's wearing red, and only the DSA people were wearing similar stuff. I had a No Kings protest shirt on.
That's right, yeah.
And so we get there, and they're playing drums. We saw people circling around with the megaphones.
Yeah.
Like they're warming up.
Yeah.
And then they said,
chants, yeah.
Right.
Lots of signs. I do think it's interesting that they create the signs to hand out to people. Like nobody shows up with I think a few people had like their homemade, like specialty.
Yeah, they're probably dead
signs.
now.
they're not even alive anymore. But yeah, the organizers create their own signs, their own slogans, and then
they had a wheelbarrow, not a wheelbarrow, but one of those. I'm retarded. has 4 wheels and it's red. And
A wagon?
A wagon.
Yeah, one of those things.
Yeah, it's one of those things. And I was looking through the footage that had just a stack of signs they're given to people, and I know you got one. And when we got there, we were talking about who is in charge. We were trying to figure out, but then these people circled up, and it was like the leaders doing like a little check-in.
Yeah.
And then they check their megaphones, and then they announced a breakout session.
Yeah, and each breakout session, we were kind of listening to a couple of them, and then we went to this one breakout session where the guy seemed very anxious,
First time,
very nervous.
He's popping his cherry.
He seemed like he could be on the verge of a mental
breakdown.
breakdown.
He was like whispering.
Yeah, I couldn't really hear him, and he kept saying like, "All right, let's talk about how we're going to organize." He kept repeating the same thing. From what I could hear, a lot of it I couldn't hear, but he was so quiet.
So I kind of took over.
Yeah. Yeah. And he made a joke that they all like laughed at, but they were like trying to conceal their laughter.
Yeah. So this poor guy was these breakout sessions, and what these are is this group, not the DSA, but the other group, the PSL. They're based in Leninism. They're based in Leninist structure that word, Democrat centralism or whatever.
Centralized democracy.
Yeah, it's all
which to me is like an oxymoron.
I think it's intended to be.
Yeah.
It's like a
like why did
double speak.
Yeah, because the two terms sort of are contradictory, I guess, on purpose, but it ends up feeling like nonsense.
It's complete nonsense.
Because for what democracy originally stood for wasn't centralized government. And so the fact that like they're trying to blend those two terms like a smoothie.
And that's the basis of this organization that started in 2004. And over the past 4 years, from what I've learned since then, is it's gotten a lot of attention. And there was a shooting in, I think, DC where 2 Jewish people were killed. It was like less than a year ago, that the person who did it allegedly was somebody who used to be a member of this group. Now that group said that person is no longer a member. Think what you will about that, but there's a lot of other stuff around this group that's very militant. And reading about them and the basis of this organization, their entire structure is based on Marxist Leninism. And Lenin did not care about sticking to the principles of communism. He cared about using communist appeals as a vehicle to gain power. And there's these communist papers where when he was in power, they came out and they said, we are now going to embrace deception, and we are going to partner up. It's called the unified front tactic. And it works like this, where they partner with anybody who is in opposition to those in power. Progressives, Democrats, any liberal group, anybody who they can classify as a working class, but they actually despise them. They despise them because they think they're weak. And their whole thing is that they will work with them. They will either be open about their communism, depending on the circumstances in society, if it's acceptable. If it's not, they will shed some of their communist colors, maybe use a different name, maybe like this name. And they will always maintain contact with the national leaders. And they will always maintain their principles, and they will never allow, they will discard any of these groups that help them gain power or do protests in a second, and they will try to infiltrate them, and they don't care about them at all. And thinking about this protest and seeing how that group was in charge, which when you read this isn't even me being like, I'm not using hyperbole. You go to their website, they talk about their Leninist Marxist foundation. And that's what this is. And all of these other groups that are there, because I was curious, how do you get all these different groups under one umbrella? Well, they have to find this common enemy, and they have to, the enemy and my enemy is my friend. But frenemy. But we have the DSA people, the girl. So it didn't dawn on me that this is like a little inner war going on through these communist Reds and these DSA socialist people. Going off on that. But that's kind of the circumstances. And when you think back of like the militant songs and dances and the organizational structure and how everybody had a role, because that really stood out to me. Yeah. Even at the end, people are, no, I'm doing this. I'm doing the music guy. One girl said, I got to go do this when I was trying to interview her at the end. And they're very, very specific, very authoritarian.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that there was a hierarchy to all of that. Because, supposedly these groups stand for
right.
equality and no hierarchy. And, so it was interesting. It felt kind of like hypocritical in many ways.
What did you think of that little roundup, that little breakout session?
I felt like people were just saying a whole lot of nothing. Like, he kept asking, okay, how do we organize? And nobody had any answers.
Except the Starbucks girl.
Except the one girl who I interviewed, which we should
we're going to show that for sure.
She had a lot of
good stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just felt like the breakout groups, it was like the blind leading the blind. Like, there wasn't any clear practical steps that anyone presented that would create any realistic change.
Because those groups weren't designed to give people steps. What they're designed to do, he handed us that thing at the end of it.
Yeah.
That is making the raising awareness in the class consciousness. I can't remember the terminology, how they use it exactly, but they're trying to raise awareness about class consciousness, and that's what those groups are, is to help people understand how they're oppressed and call things to attention.
We all feel like victims.
Right.
So we feel like the billionaires are the evil villains, and that we're like the innocent victims who are being used and abused.
Yeah.
Like, it's to rile everyone up.
And he sucked at it. I was like, I don't feel like a victim at all after this, dude. I should have gone to the Black Led group over here where everybody's victimized.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought it was a whole lot of talking without actually saying anything of value.
Yeah. I think it's because he was new. Because the one next to us, they were all engaged in it.
Yeah.
Like this group.
Yeah. And I wasn't able to hear.
Yeah, it was hard. It was loud to hear, but they had all of these different groups. It was very specific structure.
Yeah.
And we just got the shittiest communist on the planet leading ours. We had to become communist. And what I said was, when he's talking about all the shit where it's like, well, he's looking at his notes. I'm like, well, it helps to have a white guy.
Yeah, and then people laugh, but it was like a repressed laugh.
Right, they didn't want to laugh. But it's true that they use our white guyness as a platform. I was trying to offer that to them. But let's look at some of these clips. And this was, we were shouting, screw you, capitalists.
I was trying to really get in the mindset.
You got in. You were in it.
I mean, as an actor, that's what I like to do.
You were
no doubt.
I
am going to get into the headspace of how these people feel and how these people think.
I can say with confidence that you were a communist that day.
I mean, I think there's a little bit of a communist that lives in me now. That I identify as a non-binary COVID mask.
I've been thinking you've been acting a little non-binary, a little COVID masky lately.
I feel like this experience might have.
What did you say when we were leaving? You said, "Am I the crazy one?"
I mean, I felt like the whole experience, I was surrounded by people that were a little unhinged, and so I felt like, okay, well, maybe I'm actually the crazy one, and they're not. It's possible, So I don't know. The whole thing felt very culty, creepy, and the one question, which I'll let you play a clip, but there were certain questions that I thought were the answers were just fascinating.
That they were interesting. Before I play that clip, I want to show just some of what went on during the march. Which this was there's my crotch right there because the camera was. Yeah, so, you got what you came for, ladies watching, okay?
Oh, didn't mean to do
Subscribe
that.
to my OnlyFans if you will, okay?
God, so
you perverts.
You're like, oops, I didn't know that would be there.
Yeah. I got more footage of that for anybody who wants to subscribe.
Oh, there's the Starbucks. We should talk about our Starbucks moment, too. That was fun.
Oh, I have that clip. I think I forgot that. Or you run from the police. All right, I'm just going to kind of scan through some of this. Let's get some audio going now.
But I did go into it with an open mind because I didn't want to make assumptions that everybody there had the same mindset. I feel like a lot of these people probably have good intentions. They just don't realize that they're being used as a prop. They don't realize like the whole thing is like astroturfed, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So I feel like some of the people there had good intentions. So I wanted to go into it with an open mind and just kind of like pick the brains out of the diverse group of people that were there.
Well, so that's the idea of these Communist Front tactics or United Front is they manipulate people who think that they have their best intentions. Yeah. And they don't. And that's because there was a very different vibe from the DSA people than from the PSL.
Yeah, definitely a different vibe. The PSL people, the ones that did talk, had a lot more to say.
Right.
Then
there we go. All right, sorry. All right, here we go. This should work.
We just have to go through a few more crotch shots to find it.
Yeah, ladies, propagandafy.com if you like those crotch shots. Maybe you get a private DM.
Only his crotch, not mine. I'm not going.
She's not part of this.
I'm not that desperate.
No,
yet.
I don't. There's no lesbians that listen to this show. Okay. All right. See that black screen? There's all right. Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear that in the chats?
I love aliens.
You can't hear. You don't have your headphones on.
Oh, I can put them on.
Tony, can you hear that in the chats?
I can hear that. Hi, Tony.
I don't know why. Hey, Tony. Tony, is that Flat Earth event going on in Georgia still that you told me about? ESP1.
Oh, there's a whole Flat Earth event.
There was one that I believe it was Tony that invited me to it in Georgia or South Carolina. Yeah, so are you saying you can hear me? You can't hear me? Because we need to hear these clips.
If you want more.
How did you guys feel? Ridiculous. All right, hold on.
Comment below if you can hear.
Yeah, comment below if you can hear those clips. If not, we're going to hook this other computer up. By the way, if you want this show to not be technologically flawed, then you can subscribe to patreon.com/propaganda report or locals.com/prop report. Or you can go to paypal.com or .me/Brad Binkley and you get a one-time donation and you can help because, all those guys who pretend to be podcasters in their basement from CNN and all that, they actually have 12, 15 people down there and they're cocksuckers. So this is the real deal. This is authenticity right here.
Yeah, because I feel like authentic podcasts have technical issues because it is really just one person
should have
by
huge
himself
technical issues
in their living room versus like a giant crew pretending to be like the average.
Oh, so you can hear the clips. We just can't hear the clips.
Now, when you say I can hear fine, do you mean you can hear the clips fine or you can hear our voices? Can you clarify? Can you hear the actual clips? I can hear that.
You could hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, so they can hear the clips, but we can't hear the clips. What that is really, really that's maddening is what that is right there.
Trish in the house.
What's up, Trish? Are you at Bonnie's? So you can hear the clips. Well, for us to comment on them, we're going to need to hear them also.
Thank you, Zach. Well, while he's figuring out technology, if anyone has any questions for me.
Yeah, ask him questions, appropriate questions.
About mindfulness.
yoga.
I'm a mindfulness coach, and that's actually something I was curious about. It felt like a lot of the, not all necessarily, but at least the people I talked to, there was like this sense of mindlessness. Like they didn't quite fully grasp why they were there at the protest and what they were trying to accomplish. It wasn't they weren't practicing mindfulness, I don't think. At the
No, they were definitely not practicing mindfulness. They were agitators. Their whole strategy is agitation, and the strategy is like literally propaganda that Lenin promoted. So we have it now. We should be good.
Okay, great.
And Kim does do mindfulness, does do yoga, nutrition coach. We're gonna do a whole show about that sometime. Here's some clips from you.
While they hoard regular profits. Right now, billions of dollars are being spent on war in the Middle East, while working people here are being told there is no money.
Is she wearing that chicken mask?
The workplaces, in
Yeah,
our
that's me if you
communities,
can't tell.
in our campus.
Yeah, chicken.
Chicken mask.
All the way to the end of the expiration of the
So this is in front of a Starbucks that this protest ended, and there was a bunch of there was like 3 speeches, and they at one point were shouting shame, shame, shame.
Yeah. And at one point, I think you were making up a lot of words that.
Yeah, I was trying to whatever songs and chants they did. I tried to find the most ridiculous word that rhymed with it.
You were saying like whore instead of war.
Yeah, they were saying no more endless wars, and I was saying no more endless whores. So the war thing, not the whore thing, is like a united front tactic. You get people who are anti-war, you rope them in like we're going to support the same cause, and thinking that we're trying to pursue the same end. But that's the Lenin thing is like screw those guys, because I talked to some people about this, and they're like, I'm against the war too. I'm like, so am I, but I'm just as against these pieces of shit.
Yeah.
You know, just because you say something that I agree with doesn't mean I'm going to start sucking your dick.
Yeah, usually, you want to have more standards than that.
You would think.
I think
It's
I'm
not
crying.
duty to fight for freedom.
And everyone started doing this, which was
The
fun.
solidarity
That
fist,
was
yeah.
fun.
I would just open my hand when I did it.
Yeah. I remember at one point you were chanting seagulls. You were saying something about seagulls instead of like the correct words.
In the background of all those, you can see people looking at us angrily during the chants. But look how many people are at this thing.
Yeah.
And it was like roped off, and this lady right here was watching us. She was
so?
she was behind us most of the
Got
time.
The red shirt. Yeah.
She's got the red shirt on.
But I mean, watching us, why? Like, what do you think she would do? What do you think her whole reason for watching us is?
Well, what they were doing with another guy who was there before us is they were having people follow him, and whenever he would go talk to people, they would intervene and say, "Don't talk to this person."
Oh, they would try to prevent.
Yeah, they try to prevent the criticism. So that whole
the
group
free
is
speech.
yeah, right. They had this whole thing where it's like they I can't remember how they phrase it, but it's our group is not allowed. You can disagree with things, but you cannot express disagreement with the party line.
Yeah, which is
Publicly.
very much like what Hitler would do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're fighting Hitler. Resist fascism. That's a very how do we do that?
Yeah, and I wanted to ask people how they define fascism, and I didn't get a chance to ask that because there weren't a whole lot of signs like that. But yeah, the signs were very emotionally charged. That's for sure.
So this girl behind Kim right here.
Oh yeah.
I think she was one of the ones that were following people, or that's their job in this group, because she in probably 15 minutes of this video we recorded is right behind us.
Yeah.
And we were moving around a lot, and we were slowing down, and so for somebody to be behind us in every shot, it was on purpose. And
Coincidence?
then she gave me that weird sticker.
Yeah, I mean, she handed you that sticker, like she singled you out for sure. She was like, I want you to have this sticker.
And she wanted it a little, but you see the anti-racist sign she has, anti-racist, anti-fascist, anti-capitalism. And this guy, we talked to this guy. I talked to this guy at the
Yeah,
end.
because they're all those terms are one and the same.
Exactly. Yeah, right. No ICE, no bill, no stuff. All of it's the same. And so this guy, we'll show, I talked to him for like 2 seconds at the end, then he walks away because somebody pulled him away.
Yeah, he actually seemed like he wasn't scared to talk to you though. He talked.
He talked a little bit, then he just walked the fuck away. There's the PSL guy, one of them. I mean, they were everywhere. Look at that guy. I don't know who that guy is. I mean, it was crazy how many people were there.
The corporations from Christ.
This is the next AOC here.
While they hoard record profits. Right now, billions of dollars. They want us to stay quiet and stay patient. But
So they did a lot of this and they shouted shame. There she is again.
Not the war machine! Not the war machine! For people's needs! For people's needs! Not the war machine! Not the war machine!
All right, so there's a lot of that. I'm not going to show you guys. I just wanted you guys to get a sense of the environment. But this is the park before.
before the marching.
And this is the Starbucks barista who became an organizer that we saw at the movie and then you spoke with. And you see, I think she spoke with us for an extended period of time, and she has this shirt. She's gay and organized, it says on her shirt.
Yeah, because in order to be organized, you have to be gay.
I think she might have liked you.
So I actually helped my coworkers organize a union at Ansley Mall Starbucks in Midtown Atlanta in June of 2022. And I helped most of the stores in Georgia organize unions since June of 2022. And now I am a full-time organizer with Workers United on the Starbucks campaign.
So that was interesting to me because we were talking about who's paid, who's not paid. She's a full-time organizer at Workers United. And I looked that up. That's a full-time salaried job. And so she is at Starbucks working while also a full-time employee at this Workers United. That's the job of these people are to cause conflict in these workplaces so that they can organize them.
Right.
And yeah, so it's, I mean, that's what that documentary was kind of about.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the documentary, like someone like her, she wants all the Starbucks workers to feel like victims.
Yeah.
To feel like they're underpaid. You know, accidents happen. If you happen to get burned because you're doing something
Right,
silly.
yeah.
Or if you show up 40 minutes late to a shift and you're opening the store, it's not because you showed up late and opening the store, it's because, no, you were trying to unionize. And
Right. Some of them got fired for that. Yeah. There's one of the people on the documentary said, I got fired, but she turns out she was opening the store, showed up 30 minutes late twice, and there's a line of people there, and they're causing agitation. And the guys you talked to, the college kids, he was like, I don't know if you can get fired for doing that, organizing stuff. And I mean, that's the purpose, is to cause that conflict.
Yeah, it's to make people. It's to make the workers think they're getting fired because they're trying to unionize, versus like they got fired for a legitimate reason. Or it's just to make the workers feel like they're underpaid or they're abused.
And that's what that meetup session was. It was like, so how do we help people? How do we help people see the ways that they're being oppressed?
Yeah, and I if I had a chance to interview some of the Starbucks workers, I would ask them, okay, well, if you're really unhappy at Starbucks, why don't you just get a different job? Or ask them
Fascist.
or ask them like how much do you think it's worth to just hand somebody a cup of coffee? Like, do you think it's like
Right. That's a fucking tip. You just one question they ask you now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I just think to me it's kind of funny that
The one girl burned her hand. She was very upset.
not to trivialize, you know, make it seem like they don't have a legitimate job. I mean, yes, it's a job, but you're just pouring coffee and handing it to people. So how much is that worth? That's what I would ask.
That's what a billionaire would say.
I don't know.
The Ansley Mall. So Ansley Mall is super gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Very-
the gay LA Fitness,
That Starbucks doesn't exist anymore.
probably because of this union
Yeah,
thing.
I went by there recently and I was like, oh, that Starbucks is gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wonder if this has anything to do with it.
it might.
Might, yeah.
So the documentary was they got these like 7 people. I think she was one of them, and they just went through their story of unionizing and confronting. What was the guy's name? The Starbucks guy. That slips my mind. Starbucks CEO.
Yeah, and they framed it as though he was some evil guy,
Yeah.
but he
Howard
really,
Schultz,
Howard Schultz, but he's actually an example of somebody who pulled himself up by the bootstraps, who wasn't born into wealth.
Yeah, he was born in like I think New Jersey or New York. His family was poor, and he built Starbucks up. I don't always agree with his methods for doing it, but he gave employees, they called them partners, he gave them everything that progressives and Democrats demand on the political stage to his employees. I used to do freelance out of Starbucks all the time, and I would talk to the employees there. They loved it there, most of them. And so what they then did was they turned him into an evil billionaire who's not giving them enough. And they started unionizing. And his whole thing was like, unions are for for companies who treat their employees bad.
Yeah, he wasn't saying, I'm not going to let you unionize. He was explaining what would happen if they unionized.
Right.
It was almost like he didn't say, I don't want you to unionize. You know, he was sort of saying, like, this is what could happen. Like, your working conditions could actually get worse.
Yeah. What did you think of the edits?
And the way they edited it, it was clearly edited to make him, to discredit him, to make him seem like
Ominous music.
yeah,
and
ominous music, like, and they randomly started showing like Elon Musk
for no reason.
arbitrarily,
Yeah.
like with this, as if every billionaire is the spawn of Satan, and every worker is like innocent and pure and deserves a lot more money.
Yeah, and that's who this woman was opposing in the documentary. And they would show these 7 people in black and white images in the documentary. So they would show these protests. They'd zoom in. It's like 5 people outside of a Starbucks, but they zoom in to make it look like a lot.
Like a big protest, yeah.
And then the music is like, and they're still doing this fight. And they would say that whenever they would approach Howard Schultz, that he would surround them with his
SWAT team,
which is like 3 75-year-old women just meandering, and they called a SWAT team.
A SWAT team. I never saw one. I didn't see any SWAT. They kept saying a SWAT team, but really it was like one girl getting up, talking, and there was no one surrounding her at all.
At all.
And they were like, the SWAT team surrounded her. I'm like, where is the SWAT team?
Right. There's no SWAT team.
What are they talking about?
But that's the narrative that we're
Right.
under attack. And
Right.
she's like a super lesbian in a leather jacket. And so everybody's like, she's so brave. It was like they probably made her cut her hair and did her, because she didn't look like that in some of the earlier images.
It made her look more
Fit the role.
Yeah.
And then they show the movie ends where it shows like black and white photos of these 7 Starbucks employees
As
who
if they're dead.
as if they're dead and they're all alive.
It's like they're still alive. They're actually making a lot of money now. 'Cause
They're making
they've all-
more money
they've all
than
joined
ever.
This union that pays them way more. So, but they're making it seem like they're still helpless victims who have been abused and used and like, yeah.
Because they need that.
The drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I asked at the documentary, and she's the one who responded, because they talked about, well, Starbucks needs to give us what we want, and they need to give us the numbers we want. And they had said in the documentary that they offered 3% raises or something like that, which is on par with what people who actually did work there did. Mm-hmm. And they rejected it, and they rejected these other offers. And so I was like, what are the specific numbers? Of course, I stood up and said, my name was Cornelius, former partner. And so she didn't have an answer. They meander because these people, they unionize. They don't look for solutions and answers, because the second they solve it is the second that they're obsolete. It's like a politician.
They're not important anymore.
Right.
Yeah. They have no reason to. They're out of a job.
They're done.
Yeah. It's like if the problem actually gets solved, what are they going to do with their time?
Nothing. They're like, you can't do this. And so I want to watch. I'll shut up. I want to watch more of this because this was actually very insightful interview.
I teach workers their rights. I teach them how to organize themselves and their coworkers to fight back and to, put pressure on Starbucks to do what's right by their workers.
That's awesome. So you're a full-time organizer. So what does it take to become something like that? Like if I wanted to do it?
Well, I got into it by organizing my workplace. And, I just helped other people. And it just became like my full-time gig.
So it's like you're working at Starbucks and you hate it. Yeah. And you have this group that comes to you and they're like, we'll pay you a lot more money if you start some shit. We'll give you attention. We'll put you on the cover of magazines. Would you like that?
It's a hard offer to refuse.
They're like, you're not a model, but you can be our model, to her. Yeah. And it's hard to refuse. Why would you not do that?
You can't refuse.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay.
Hey, don't you hate those fucking white people? Bitch, you get coffee all day. They ever say thank you to you? They probably drive off and think about how they hate you. They just feed them with this. And like, there's a way out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very appealing. Like, if I was in their shoes, I can't really blame them, if it was presented to me like that.
And that's why people think being a white man is privileged. I can't do this. I can't do this. Somebody would believe it.
They wouldn't trust you.
Side of my job at Starbucks. And so I think
it's interesting. She fell into it.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it's interesting that she didn't really answer the question.
She didn't at all.
She answered it in this very vague.
She dodged a couple of your questions.
Vaguely, like I just fell into it. It just happened. No specifics.
You were good with the way you asked questions, sir.
And to, put pressure on Starbucks to do what's right by their workers.
That's awesome. So you're a full-time organizer. So what does it take to become something like that? Like if I wanted to do it?
Well, I got into it by organizing my workplace. And, I just helped other people. And it just became like my full-time gig.
Helped other people feel oppressed.
Outside of my job at Starbucks. And so I think, there's a lot of opportunity with bigger unions like the IBEW has apprenticeships so you can learn a trade and then learn, labor law and that kind of stuff. But how do you get into it? I don't, I kind of just like fumbled my way into it. But yeah, getting involved, I've seen people join, DSA, PSL, and then they learn how to organize people, and those organizing skills can translate to a number of different things, nonprofits, labor unions, yeah.
So those organizing skills, so she's saying the top level of as like an iceberg there. Those organizing skills can get you these opportunities for all these nonprofits and the PSL. It's what exactly?
I want to go to
does she
organizing
mean?
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barack Obama is an organizer. Saul Alinsky.
I feel like I'm pretty organized, so I feel like I could do it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting here. She is very like she's like laughing.
She's kind of laughing at my question. Yeah, she's sort of like,
I can't tell you.
I can't tell
you
like all the details, but if you develop organizing skills, maybe you could do it too. But she did mention, the DSL and
these other groups that will pay you. They have this money that will pay you.
So she's not hiding that.
The question, so you watch these things back and you think of, oh, what would I ask? I could talk to her again. Is what kind of organizing would I have to demonstrate to be able to get accepted? Can I audition?
Yeah, like
to your what do I got to do? You got to see my my file closet.
How will I organize my closet?
Or do I have to organize? Do I, as a white guy, have to organize a bunch of trans and LG, or maybe I become a trans? And it's so the organizing. The way I look at it, it's you demonstrate your ability to organize the most amount of people to take mass action against their own best interest.
Yeah, I mean, what I wanted to ask her, I mean, her shirt says "Be gay and organize." I wanted to ask her, like, do I have to be gay to organize?
Well, your shirt says I don't have a gender, but I have anxiety. So, but that's a good question. It helps. It certainly helps. I think if you're gay, you guys kind of match there. It's cute.
Do you think every restaurant should be unionized?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good thing for a business to have a union because the workers are getting what they need and customers are getting what they want. And it's a win-win. And I really feel like investing in your workers is something that will pay you back as an owner. We need people now to be thinking about every workplace needing a union. And that builds power for the working class because at the end of the day, it's the 99 against the 1%. And we're not going to get anywhere if we don't build community and we don't know what our rights are.
So what do you think is more effective? Voting, protesting, or like voicing?
Before that is there was a guy the entire time y'all were talking, hovering behind me.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a black guy with, I think he didn't have a red shirt on.
He was with her.
I thought he was with her.
I thought they were friends or something.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah. But then towards the end of it, because I kept looking at him, he walked off, and then another guy came, and was doing the same thing.
Okay.
You probably didn't notice because they're both black, and you're very racist, so you probably couldn't.
I was focused on her.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. No, they all look the same to you. I understand. No, but so that's I thought they were friends, but then they switched out, and so they were kind of like listening in. And then when she got done, she just briefly talked to him, and we were being followed and monitored this entire time, going back through these clips.
Yeah, I guess you could probably see some of that from the footage. Because at the time, I was just sort of
You locked in.
I was
You locked
Your
in.
complaints online.
Oh, I mean, I would say voting and protesting are super important. Don't get me wrong, I am on the internet. I like to comment, whatever. It is not effective. What is effective is showing up and talking to people and building that community because the internet is just divisive at this point.
Do you have the most effective direct action tactic?
I mean, I don't know. As a union member, we have a couple different things we do. A March on the Boss, which is just, a 5-minute work stoppage, reading a letter. And it's super powerful because...
So, do you remember during the documentary, there was a moment where they said that one of those 7, or one of the employees at one of the Starbucks, the police had been called by the boss saying that they were being kidnapped.
Oh yeah, so, supposedly somebody pretended to be kidnapped or whatever.
Yeah, well, the
It was
boss
like a
said
fake-
that
a
is
fake
what they
story.
said. That probably not what the boss, how he characterized it, but the way they told it in the Starbucks movie, which she's a part of, is that, can you believe how evil these higher ups are at Starbucks? One of the bosses actually called the police to say that they were being kidnapped by their employees.
As if
like that.
the manager of Starbucks is like fabricating a story like that,
Right.
Just to like get this person fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
Right.
is a kind of a dumb story to fabricate
It's-
because how would you get away
Weird.
with that story?
Yeah.
Like how would
Fire them for another reason.
like so that's what makes that story unbelievable because if that really are the managers that dumb like to pretend that somebody's getting kidnapped when they're not,
Right.
like the police, like that's not a story you can get away
There's
with.
probably a police report. But I was thinking about it, and the manager probably didn't say that.
Yeah.
They might have called the police.
Yeah.
Because there was probably some blockage of the doors because they do these tactics where they won't let people leave. And this to me sounds like what that is.
Okay.
This letter to the boss, where they have this letter and they all get in front of him, they read it to him, and they won't let him leave. And it strikes me as similar to these other tactics where they say, we need the police to pull you out of a wheelchair before you leave because they have these people in wheelchairs go block congressmen's doors so that the congressman has no choice but call the police. It sounds like the exact same type of tactic that she's describing here because there's no way that some dude or female is like really being kidnapped by a bunch of baristas. They're just dramatizing it in that movie to make them seem like the victim when they're the ones provoking to try and get this story and this bullshit. I hated that documentary. I hated it so much. I don't know. That's what it sounded like to me. The way she's just, she's interesting because she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, I mean, she seems like she's speaking with real conviction. You know,
She's a true believer.
It seems like she believes what she's saying. Like, do you think that she believes what she's saying, or do you think she's intentionally being deceptive?
So I think that she was happy to get attention. I'm not. She's probably a nice person in her like everyday life, but I think that she probably is somebody who saw her like always felt has a victim mentality probably, and I think that she found an opportunity through organizing, and this is what they call this, the Bolshevik man in the communist papers. It's the person who is the ripe kind of vulnerable to be able to pump up, to get them to do this type of work, saying, oh, nobody's treating you right. And they do this to people on the right also. It's not just people on the left. And I think that somebody found her, probably has a good work ethic, and they weaponized her, probably a little bit of emptiness she probably had, and they gave her a way to fulfill it.
Yeah, she probably didn't have a sense of purpose, a strong sense of purpose, and now she does.
She's also full of shit, though.
Everybody wants a sense of purpose.
Right.
But my question is, does she believe what she's saying, or do you think she's intentionally deceiving?
I think she wants to believe what she's saying, but the way she's answering your questions, I think she's intentionally deceiving.
You think so?
The way she laughs at the good questions, I think she knows that, she can't say.
She's not telling
I can't tell you the truth.
The whole truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's speaking in partial truths.
But part of the strategy, and she's not even in the red shirts, but part of the Leninist strategy is the ends justify the means. Mm-hmm. So the deception is necessary.
Yeah, she probably feels that the deception is necessary.
Yeah.
It's direct. It's not really confrontation, but it's a direct dialogue where we're putting our foot down and we're saying, this will escalate, but we're giving you the option to make it right.
So, I mean, she's talking about the march on the boss there. We confronted our boss. We said, this will escalate. We're going to give you an opportunity. And then in the documentary, they're like, they called the police on us. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. But we're giving you the opportunity to make it right.
What would you say if some people confronted you and they said that? If you're their manager, in a yoga studio, and there's a revolt.
There's a revolt.
And they're like, we're doing a march on the boss, Kim.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give you an opportunity to make this right.
Well, I would ask them, I would let them all express how they feel, and then I would explain what is feasibly possible. And I would listen to their concerns, and I would say, okay, this is what I can do. If this isn't good enough, maybe just find a different job. If this is the only thing I can do with
We're unionizing, Kim.
I would be like, all right, that's on you then. Have fun with the unions. Imagine, I also asked her, I was like, do you think every business should be unionized? And she was like, yes.
Yeah,
So imagine that though. Imagine if the United States, if every business was unionized. Can you imagine how that would
be awful?
Like, I can't quite grasp.
It would be the worst employees are the managers.
Yeah.
And we'd have to join SAG in Georgia.
Yeah, it'd be mandatory.
It'd be awful.
Yeah.
That's why I like Georgia. It's a right to work state.
Right. Yeah. People are always asking, like, oh, are you going to join SAG? And I'm like,
no, why?
I'm in a right to work state. Why
would I do that?
Would
I give them part of the yeah. I'm not doing that.
So
yeah,
she was like, absolutely, like every restaurant, every business should be unionized.
And it's like, what are the effectiveness of these unions? They're like
right
a weapon.
Now. And you cannot say you didn't know as a boss, as an owner. And if they are to give us what we need, fixed things, safety concerns addressed, wages, then you buy peace from your workers. So I love a march on the boss. I love a strike, but it's because we've had to do it, and
What's a
it's
march
really
on the boss?
It's a 5-minute work stoppage where you read a grievance letter to a boss, a city council rep, whatever. And it's just addressing the issues directly so that they can't say that they didn't know it happened or it was an issue. And it's accountability, which what do we need more than accountability at this point? Like, accountability is the underlying problem for most things, I feel like.
And the best way to hold people accountable is
Holy shit! There's that girl again.
Same girl.
Show up and to have your voice heard, protest, vote. If voting wasn't so important, they wouldn't.
So yeah, I asked her, I was like, what's the best way to
And
hold,
it's
Right.
what's the best way to hold people accountable? And then she just goes back to like protests. Like that's going to be the most effective thing.
And that's that. So that's what one of their goals for this thing is. And for that, see, she sounds a little bit like a red shirt.
Yeah.
Is to have this general strike and to do more in-person meetups and like backroom stuff. Like those people were cleaning up afterwards when I was walking around acting like an idiot.
Yeah.
And they all were going to a meeting. The one guy told us about
Yeah,
it.
he's like, we have a meeting
Yeah,
tomorrow.
and they're like doing a recap, and he told us the address of it. I looked up the address, and another person who had found it too had gone over there and filmed a little bit, and they have like these. I mean, it's like 1917 like backroom meetings where they review notes and they give people feedback and whoever's in charge, because people wouldn't answer questions.
Right.
You know, they were
Yeah.
scared. It was crazy.
Yeah. It's like they were trying to, it's like they had someone over them that would punish them.
It's
you
just
know?
it's so contradictory
It was
to
creepy. It was
everything.
creepy.
Yeah.
It's contradictory to everything they supposedly stand for.
Yeah.
To
And
have that hierarchy and like people that are afraid of overstepping their bounds. Like, who are they
Right.
afraid of?
I don't think they're afraid of anything. I think they're professional. Like, she's an organizer. These people, these Leninists, they call themselves professional revolutionaries, the vanguard.
Yeah, the vanguard.
That they want to get the people who are the best at doing it, that can be full-time on the ground trying to organize people through these messages. And I think that's what some of the people here were that we were dealing with, like some of the ones with the
They're
bullhorns.
part of the vanguard.
I think they're part of the revolutionary vanguard. You're trying to overthrow. I don't know.
Yeah, and then I asked that question to a lot of people, like, what do you think is more effective, marching, chanting, or complaining online? And it's funny,
had no
everybody
answer.
took that question seriously.
Really seriously, yeah.
Nobody knew that it was kind of like mocking the whole, because it's like, I definitely believe in the right to protest. I definitely believe in that. But like, how effective is this?
You asked it so straight. I knew you were fucking with them. So,
Everybody thought nobody suspected I was sort of like, it was a joke question.
And there are a couple different answers. So she doesn't.
Complaining online, like, how effective is that? And people took it seriously. That's what I thought was interesting. Like, nobody suspected that I was sort of like, it was a joke question.
If voting wasn't so important, they wouldn't be trying to undermine that right. But at the end of the day, it needs to be like a coordinated thing in voting, protesting, and organizing yourself in your community with DSA, PSL,
loose lips.
political parties, and organizing a union at your job.
if this is successful, what does success look like for you?
I mean, for me, it would mean livable wage, affordable housing, public transit,
We have public transit.
accountability from our political leaders, safety and security for everyone.
Yeah.
Childcare, affordable health care, universal
Should have
health
asked her if she
care.
wanted to get pregnant.
It's just we are the ones who pay the taxes. We are the ones who should benefit from putting our money together.
Well, thank you so much for chatting
Thanks for
with
your
me.
time. We appreciate it. And the movie was great. We saw the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really great. I deleted my Starbucks app after I saw the movie. And now when I go to a Starbucks, I ask, are you unionized? And if they're not, I'll go to a different Starbucks.
Yeah, you should just mention to them, like, would you be interested in learning more about it? Because I think a lot of workers are interested. There's just a lot of fear because, it's a $1 billion industry to fight what we're doing.
So that's it. There's a lot of fear. She says there's a lot of fear. And so everybody working at Starbucks is just living in fear.
I know people that work at Starbucks that like their job just fine.
There used to be all these. There's a chick who did comedy years ago at Relapse. who was a manager for Starbucks. And so she hired all the comedians to work at Starbucks. They weren't living in fear.
I mean, you get health care, but they're complaining the health care isn't very good. But you get those health benefits, you know.
You get maternity leave.
You do get a lot of benefits from working at Starbucks. So it's like
Free college.
way more benefits than working at other coffee companies. Like
Right.
Caribou Coffee doesn't offer.
It's the
Dunkin'
progressive
Donuts.
Chick-fil-A is what it is.
So it's like, but they're complaining because it's not good enough. Because a billionaire is at the top of it.
Do you think they feel like it's not good enough until somebody comes in and tells them?
I feel like, I mean, again, I can't speak for them. I don't know how they feel. I've never been a barista, but I've had many, many serving jobs. And I imagine like it takes somebody putting that idea in their mind is what I imagine. That, oh, don't you, I mean, who doesn't want to make more money? You know, like
or and be appreciated,
and feel valued.
You can be in charge. It's like giving the power to the proletariat.
Nobody likes feeling powerless. So it's less about like a dollar amount and more about like fulfilling an emotional need.
Yeah,
it's a psychological game. Like, don't you feel undervalued? And so now she's in a position where she feels like she's in a position of power. And that's what a lot of these slogans are. It's like, let's take the power back. You know, it's like no one wants to feel like they don't have the power. But power is essentially an illusion.
That's like, oh, is it? It's a feeling, is what it is.
It's a feeling.
Yeah. And they target that. Like the psychology of it. They write about this in their papers. Is targeting that vulnerability and giving people that feeling that they have never had anywhere else in their life.
Yeah, but I think that the feeling is an illusion. I think that sense of power is actually, I mean, it's temporary and it's an illusion, in my opinion.
Is it an illusion if they are influencing people?
Just because you're influencing someone, I mean, I don't know.
From a philosophical standpoint, I understand what you're saying. But from a practical standpoint, this woman, I tried to take over the group and she kept interrupting me. But she should have been leading it. She
definitely likes to talk.
She does. That's what's going to get her offed. Is she's running.
She's going to say too much. She's going to give too much away, and then
if she wants to join the Reds, she's got to shut those lips.
And we know that Starbucks has spent over $250 million to union bust its workers when they could have just given us the $250 million and we would be going to work and not causing a problem for them.
I'm playing along.
Just give it out.
Well.
I mean, it's an investment in your people, but instead they give $100 million to the CEO after 4 months at being at Starbucks. He's the Chipotle guy, so if you want more pico de gallo, you just go, that's not how that works.
Yeah, all CEOs are like that, you know?
I think it's an illness, it's greed, and it is really bad. We need to just call it what it is. They are addicted to money and greed and power.
Because what's the point of having all that money? Like, what are you even going to do with it, you know?
Yeah, and you could probably make yourself look good by giving people the money, and you could still have enough.
Right.
It's just, when is enough? And how many people have to be treated poorly and go without for you,
she just
to feel like you're powerful enough.
Yeah, it's just probably like.
What's your favorite slogan that you've seen today?
No, that's a good one. There are a bunch of them.
She's trying to find one.
She's trying to find one that
What do you
isn't
think about the big art piece over there?
I mean, it looks pretty spot on.
Yeah, there's a Trump
I feel like
over
it's
there.
very historically accurate.
It looks just like Trump to me. Like the spitting image.
Yeah, honestly. He's starting to look more and more like a sweet
It
potato.
was sucking its own dick earlier.
Oh my God, so flexible.
Yeah, for a second I thought that was really Trump.
I was trying to get her out of there at that
I was
point.
like, he's probably in Georgia.
What's your message to Trump if you're speaking to Trump right now?
We're going to keep organizing and we're going to hold you accountable as workers, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So how does a movement stop becoming a movement?
I'm sorry, say that again.
How does a movement stop becoming a movement?
How does a movement stop being a movement? When people aren't engaged.
So what is the ultimate end goal? Like, how do you know when, like, for instance, today, like.
There's a black militant in the background, by the way, just screaming. I guess I cut that short. So this is the second interview. This is the first trans in the park.
Yeah.
That has a sign here that says, "We the people." What does it say? Stop the liberate hairline or healing, and then it says something about like Game of Thrones.
It says stop war funding.
Yeah.
Liberate healing.
And you see they have a mask there, and you see this black communist grandma.
Red shirt. We the people have demands.
Yeah.
Literally, I love.
There we go.
Affordable housing.
Affordable housing. It's all of them. I'm surprised environmental justice and stop the John the Mad King or Don the Mad King.
Every single word.
Oh yeah, you love it. You're loving it.
Does a movement stop becoming
It's
a
funny.
movement?
You just go up to them and just
How
tell
does a
them what you
movement
love
stop
them.
becoming stop being a
I'm
movement?
just playing along to
When people aren't
see
engaged.
how far they'll.
So what is the ultimate end goal? Like, how do you know
I guess
when,
I cut this one short.
like, for instance, today, like. I love every single word on here.
Very cool.
So this is a
We the
trans person with a
people.
mask on their chin. For those
Game,
listening.
Game of Thrones, right?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
And this person you did ask is an Uber driver, so they took off work.
Yeah, I was asking everyone if they actually took off work.
That was the
'cause
point of the
The whole
protest.
point is to like not work.
Don't work to hurt the economy.
But nobody at this protest seemed
No
like
one.
they actually took
No,
off work.
the organizers were there working.
Yeah, they're like, I happen to have the day off, so.
And
Or
this-
I already finished my work day, so I just,
Can you imagine being like, oh, I got to get some 4 pieces of poster board and get ready for this protest? And
It's a fun little art project, that she used, or they used different colors.
This person does feel like a real trans, has bunny ears on.
Maybe they identify as a bunny. I don't know.
There was a furry festival in Atlanta this weekend. I just found out.
Oh,
about it.
really?
Sorry. I missed it.
Breathing room. Out of anything. Anything.
I know, I just want to breathe. Can we please just breathe?
Who's the worst billionaire?
Oh, I can't even name them. Well, just put them all in there.
Throw
Throw
them all
them.
in the
No
fire
billionaire
pit.
should exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So out of the LGBTQ plus, what is your favorite letter?
N. Non-binary.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, that's a good one. What do you think is more effective? Protesting, voting, or complaining online?
All. We all need to do them all.
Yeah.
Complain online, protest if you can, and just don't buy into the crap. Don't spend unnecessarily. Don't stop giving them money. If you
hard to
stop
explain
giving them
to
money,
like
they're
first
going to just
classes.
wither away and die.
Buy local.
Did you miss work to come out here?
Yes, I'm an Uber Eats driver, and I decided, no, I'm not going to be driving for anyone today except for the people.
Nice.
So he's not going to be driving for anyone except for the people. That's literally what Uber Eats is.
They told their Uber you don't have any regular scheduled hours. You can control.
You pick up whatever the fuck you want.
So it's not like you sacrifice your work. Like, would they
His
be?
boss is pissed at him.
Would they actually be working anyway during this time? No.
This
would
is the worst Uber Eats driver.
They probably make a lot more money late at night working. So
What are you suggesting?
I actually did Uber Eats for a little while.
Oh, I thought you were saying this is a prostitute, this person.
No, I'm just saying, they didn't make any real sacrifice to be there.
Look.
It's not like they have a 9 to 5 where they have to, stand up to their boss. Like, I'm not working today. They deliver Uber Eats, so you can create your own schedule.
Did you get hit? So you brought people Uber Eats. Did you get hit on?
A little
Yeah.
while.
You think this person ever gets hit on when they bring? If this person brought out my Whataburger at 1 a.m. and it's probably ripped open, half the hash browns are gone.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I actually had a DoorDash delivery person hit on me as the person they were delivering to, which was really weird. They're texting me afterwards.
How are they texting? How do they have your number?
So they have the direct communication. They can communicate with you through the app. The driver. And the driver texted. I remember I opened the door. It was probably some 18-year-old kid. I opened the door and he goes, he just smiled and looked like he'd never seen a girl before. And then he walked away. Because I immediately was like weirded out, and I like shut the door. And then he's texting, I'm sorry, but you're like the cutest girl I've ever seen.
Did you go out with him?
Working, yeah, we're
You guys are together.
we're gonna hang out later, but I like him young. No, it was like, okay, this is. I texted him back. I was like, this is really unprofessional. If you want to keep your job, you probably shouldn't hit on, But
He's probably unionized.
yeah. But I'm sure that happens a lot with that job.
Yeah, it's person though. I wonder what rating they have.
Are you going to unionize?
I would love to learn how.
Do you think Uber Eats should unionize?
I think Uber Eats should unionize. I think that wages in general just need to get a harsh reality slap.
Absolutely. Like a slap in the face.
Uber can
Why
eat
is
my
the
dick
mask
if they
on
don't
his
use
chin?
it.
Violent. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. It's a fashion statement now.
Yeah.
It's not like for practical reasons.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then we're gonna go
Well,
to the
and
next
it's so
train.
great to talk to
Nice
you.
talking to you, too.
Good to talk to you.
Have a
Good
great
to talk to you
time.
at the rally.
Nice to
Thank
talk
you,
to you.
guys. Thank you, guys. Power to the people.
Who is that person waving at us? So that's his hand.
I would love to learn how.
Do you
So
think
interesting
Uber
to
Eats
see
should
the fact that-
unionize?
I think Uber Eats should unionize. I think that wages in general just need to get a
Sorry for
harsh
repeating the
reality
clips, guys.
slap.
Trying to see what's in the background.
Absolutely. Like a slap in the face.
Uber can eat my dick if they don't unionize.
Exactly.
Well, it was so great to talk to you.
Nice talking to you,
Good to
too.
talk to you.
Have a
Good
great
to talk to
time.
you.
Nice to
Thank
talk
you.
I try. So that's what when I wanted the interviews to end. I would say something uncomfortable.
Like yeah.
Yes.
I
This
could
guy.
tell.
Who the fuck is
oh,
this
he's
guy?
waving. He's got the mask on. He's waving.
So he's they just make out with this
Guys,
mask on.
power to the people.
What do you think?
So this was after the rally at the Starbucks, and this person knew their shit.
Is more effective? Protesting, chanting, or complaining online?
Well, protesting would be the most effective, but really, labor action is the name of the game as far as like moving policy and changing things in the material world. Like carrying signs is great, like that's a part of the solution, but at the end of the day, labor militancy is the thing that gets the goods, and that's what May Day is all about. That's why this is the start of something big, whereas No Kings was the start to the start of something big.
Right.
You feel me? Yeah,
The start to the start, but I think something really got accomplished here. What do you think really got accomplished?
Oh, well, I mean, the level of unity between the different interests of the working class is what it's about. We had labor represented, we had racial justice represented, we have economic justice represented.
These are the United Front groups they've pulled on the.
And it's a full spectrum, and that's what we need. We need to unite the left, we need to take on the far right, and then we need to take on monopoly capitalism.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's what it would
Do you think there are any capitalists watching today?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
I was
this is
like
the
pointing
whole-
them out.
Yeah, I mean, this is the heart of the ruling class's operation. Any victories that people win in Atlanta are going to be necessarily won all over the country.
Yeah.
So they see, 300 people hyped and energized come out. Like, they'll take note of that for sure.
Yeah. So what do you think it'll take to really terrify the billionaires?
Strikes, general strikes. Again, targeting the money. Labor power is what lets them do what they do. And so if that gets taken away, suddenly the game is up.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's your candidate in 2028?
So this girl, they talking about labor militancy, which when you look it up, it says is experiencing a resurgence. It's an activity, strike activity for worker dissatisfaction, and driven by pandemic era rethinking of work and rising class consciousness as a communist theme. It's a less violent version of what happened in like the 1930s and 1917 in Russia. And he said that a couple of times. I don't know if I think I cut the first one out, but he mentioned at one point, he said this wasn't a purely economic strike, even though it was advertised as a boycott. When I saw that other group and I started looking into them, the PSL, and their Leninism approach, Lenin never did pure economic. It's like Lenin, this guy sounds like Lenin in his book on the protest strategy and organizing a revolution, where it's like, yeah, you got to get the economics, but the whole idea is, part of it is you get people person to person on the street, you give people like stupid jobs like I'm water person, I'm t-shirt person, like the ones that talk to us, so that they feel invested So all of that stuff, according to Lennon's strategy, was strategic to create investment and purpose, like we talked about, so that they would then become more willing to do what is asked of them by the party in the future. And this guy is just like rattling off stuff. So I almost feel like he's faking being.
You don't think he actually believes what he's saying?
No.
You think that he's like faking being trans?
Yeah, I think he might be faking being trans.
Really? Yeah, I mean, he still has a deep voice. He probably hasn't taken any.
Get some tits, okay?
hormones.
Go all the way and show me some tits if you're gonna be trans. Don't wear that low cut shit and not show me some cleavage.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's funny that he couldn't tell that I was being sarcastic.
None of them could tell that you were being sarcastic.
When I was like, "Oh, do you think we really scared the the billionaires are watching and they're scared?
Yeah.
Like they're the billionaires."
Everyone was much more receptive to you than me. I talked to him. There's no doubt.
I think I just looked a little less threatening.
You were very
than
serious
you do.
about the questions, though.
Yeah,
so it was good.
you have to be serious. I was in the moment. I was serious because in the moment I was trying to get in the mindset of this whole mentality. So I had to make it serious.
Yeah, we know sex work is work. You think he's a sex worker, Bonnie? Is that what you're?
Do, and so if that gets taken away, suddenly the game is up.
Right.
I mean, this guy's going.
Who's your candidate in 2028?
Candidate in 2028, nobody
disagree with
we've
him
heard of. I mean, they're all, the presidential elections are very, public facing, like big spectacles, but we get to choose from two ruling class parties that are going to deliver the same policies. So, I mean, there's a few things that did not scare the ruling class that can be different between the parties, like, for instance, gay rights, right? Democrats are more for gay rights, but those things don't actually fundamentally threaten the system at all. So no candidate I will ever support will be one of the two major parties.
If you had a chance to slap a billionaire or slap a racist, which one would you choose?
Well, I mean, they'd be the same one. I mean, there's no difference there.
They're one and the same, exactly. All right, well, thank you so much for chatting with us. That was fun.
Peter Thiel does the problem. He's slapping a gay guy.
Oh, well, who cares about that?
Hell yeah.
I mean,
That's right.
I mean, he makes life way worse for gay people through his own actions. So,
Totally.
Man, he was.
He's not. Yeah,
he's homophobic.
That was like the one question that people answered that I thought was fascinating because I was like, what's worse, being a billionaire or being a racist?
What? Yeah.
And then people would say being as if like being a billionaire means
they're
that
both being racist. Like Tyler Perry's a billionaire.
Yeah,
LeBron James is a billionaire.
They assume that they're one and the same. They assume that every billionaire is a racist.
And fuck the gays if they're billionaires. you know? Like,
but there's like left wing billionaires. There's gay billionaires. So it's like what a.
well, it's that mentality though.
That all billionaires are racist.
It's the class warfare mentality.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So I feel like events like this, to me, it seems like it's more designed to divide and conquer versus because they were like, oh, the unity. That's what we accomplished, the unity among all these different groups. And I was like, none of those slogans reflected unity. All of those slogans reflected workers versus, they were all divisive slogans.
and it's like the hierarchy of victimness, of intersectionality. As a lot of these groups have conflicting, which that interview kind of highlighted, where he mentioned right before I said Peter Thiel, he said gays and all that. So he was, wants to protect gays, but not if they're Peter Thiel.
Right.
And within that group of people, you have gays, you have lesbians, you have trans. Yeah. You have a lot of gays have a problem with trans. It's because the cis argument.
Yeah.
And then you have minorities who it's like top oppressed status. But you set all that aside when you're trying to fight against the billionaire. So you make it that class thing, and then all that other shit, it gets worked out later.
Right.
And that's the Leninist strategy. And
yeah, it's we all have this common enemy, or it's the illusion of the common enemy, right? But it didn't. Yeah, I didn't agree that accomplished any unity.
No, it's unity and visually and because you hear the drums, you hear the people. So everybody's there for their own purpose. You do these appeals for these protests, and people always do it for politics, right and left, all sides, where they're generic and they use these glittering generalities that are never concretely defined. Because if you concretely define them, it alienates people. But if you leave them vague, then people can project their own meaning into it. And so that way you have people with conflicting meanings in their minds under the same umbrella, not realizing that it's either them or the other person later on. And that's why politicians are never specific, ever. Because just let people decide for themselves and think that they agree.
Right. It's like creating a piece of art that's deliberately ambiguous so everyone can just
love it,
make up their own interpretation,
right?
And pander. It's like pandering, to everyone.
Yeah. It's like politics is that banana on the wall that's like $1 million. No, it's crazy. It is because it's like it's very strategic where they've studied. They call it glittering generalities. Never be specific so you can change the definition whenever you want, and people can rope anybody in. Like this guy probably bangs chicks all the time. The guy we just talked to.
I don't know about that. Maybe. Oh, these guys were.
These
fun.
were great, and look, I hope that they don't get fired for watching this. But after watching it and realizing that they're,
I don't think they were working that day, were they? This guy works at a country club. This was like my favorite interview that you did. This is hilarious. So what?
So these are, for those listening, these are like two dudes in their probably early mid-20s who are drunk, but who they're like very passive revolutionaries.
They're like, we just wander. I mean, well, yeah.
And they would have talked to Kim all night.
What do you do? Are you missing work today to come to the rally?
No, I got off work already. Unfortunately, I couldn't take off today, so I was working. But you didn't have work today.
I didn't work today, so thankfully I was off.
Oh, you just happen to be off work?
Yeah. But I mean, thankfully it started at 5:30, which is better than most events, given the fact that most people work until 5.
The whole purpose is to get off work.
That's supposedly like the whole point.
That's why you asked the question.
Yeah, you're protesting by refusing to go to work. Like that's the whole name of the game. So it's just so funny.
So, I mean, that is the big, I think, block for a lot of people coming out here, is that they work. A lot of the DSA events and CSL events start at like 1, and most people can't come out to that.
So he's obviously in tune with it. Yeah. He's following it. Yeah, but he's like, I gotta fucking work.
So what do you do for work?
I work at a country club.
Which one?
Horseshoe Bend up in Roswell.
I haven't heard of that one.
He's trying to match.
Are you unionizing them?
No. They don't seem like the unionizable type.
Do you think they should unionize?
Oh yeah, of course. But some people aren't palatable to that, and whenever politics is something you can be, can be deemed as like disturbing the peace in your workplace and is a fireable offense.
Or a hireable offense if you're that other chick for the United Workers.
Exactly, yeah, fireable versus hireable.
Striking isn't fireable, and joining a union isn't, but unless you actually join a union, they can
he catches himself being so conflicted in what he tells you.
Yeah, I can tell he's like uncertain because he doesn't quite believe what he's saying.
You're about to ask him in a minute about racism, and it's hilarious.
Hire you for stuff like that, or find a reason to. So a lot of the times it's not beneficial to talk about unionizing.
Who's your least favorite billionaire?
I don't know.
Who's your least favorite billionaire?
Sam Altman.
Is it because he's gay?
No.
What are y'all signs?
Signs?
Yeah.
I'm a Cancer.
Wow.
Just like Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry and all the billionaires.
That's a coincidence. Where's your protest sign?
I was too lazy to make a sign.
If billionaires were here, what do you think their sign would say?
Fuck me.
You just think they all want to get fucked?
Yeah, they're coming here. What the fuck are they doing?
You guys voted for Trump, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you vote for Trump?
I actually wrote in Joe. No, I voted for Jill Stein.
Oh, Jill Stein. Okay.
At the Green Party.
Yeah.
What's the most racist thing you've ever said?
The N-word. No.
When did you say it?
I'm just kidding. No, I don't consider myself a racist. So.
Does anyone consider themselves a racist?
You go to
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think you. Yeah.
So you've actually met people that say, I am a racist?
Yeah. We're in the South. We're in Georgia.
So I've met a lot of people that don't consider themselves a racist, but they kind of are. They don't realize it.
Yeah. There's two different forms. One is like they've come to realize that they're racist, and one is still like, you know, in the closet.
He's just repeating. He'll say anything that you tell him to say.
Yeah, exactly. What you said.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I'm a racist. Do you think you're a racist?
No, I do not think I am.
What makes you think you're not a racist?
I think.
He's trying to answer.
I don't know. I guess because I'm not a racist. I don't know.
I love that he's trying to actually answer that question.
Yeah,
That's a real question.
You hear like the lady in the background, like you can be a racist and you don't know it. It was like perfect timing.
Yeah. Was that in the background?
Yeah, you can hear her saying
Oh
that.
my
like,
God,
it's
that's hilarious.
Synchronistic. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people would argue if a white person says they're not racist, they are racist. So
it's a double. I just love that he like took a second and he was like trying to think of he didn't have an argument as to why he's not racist.
He's like, wait, why aren't you?
Because I'm not.
Because
that's not an answer. You need to show me some evidence. It's because that's how these groups work. Is they to try to get people to prove the negative. So you turn it back. And so I don't understand these two though. These two.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a racist. Do you think you're a racist?
No, I do not think I am.
What makes you think you're not a racist?
I think. I don't know. I guess because I'm not a racist. I don't know. I guess that's just kind of what qualifies that kind of thing. I don't know.
If you had a choice between
He said he's not an expert.
I'm not a racist.
And they said he's not qualified to talk on this.
being a racist or a billionaire, which would you choose?
It's a hard choice. I don't know.
What's worse, being a racist or a billionaire?
I don't quite know. I mean, I don't really know in the fact that I feel like I'm not qualified to answer the question.
What do you think is more?
He's not. You put this guy on the spot. You grilled him. He didn't expect it. He just wanted to come and protest the revolutionary movement for freedom, and you put him on the spot.
Like, these aren't hard questions.
He's not qualified to answer.
Why is he not qualified to answer?
I haven't been
Because
trained.
he's white?
Yeah. Well,
Is that why he's not qualified?
I don't know.
Like, do you think? Do you think that's why he thinks he's not qualified? Because he's white? Is that why he's like, I'm not qualified?
I don't. That's a good question. I don't know what he means by that. I just know that anytime I'm asked a question I don't want to answer, I'm just gonna say I'm not qualified to answer that question, whatever it is. It's like, where were you last night? I'm not qualified to answer that question.
Qualified.
He is a deer in headlights.
He just doesn't know how to answer. It's a very simple question. Like, these aren't hard
That's
questions.
so fun. So like the reason that works, and I'm going to cut this into a shorter thing with some of the other stuff because it's really funny, is because you're so serious about it. If I had asked that stuff, I was interjecting, but if it would have been just me, they would have like rolled their eyes, but they were mesmerized.
I don't know if that was it.
Just look at him.
I was just asking it seriously.
Look at this guy in the background, about to grab his cock with that, whatever the fuck that flag is.
But what's funny is like, I asked like, who actually calls themselves a racist?
Right.
I've never met anyone that's like, yeah, I'm a racist.
I don't know. I do know a couple people, but most people don't.
They're like, I am a racist. Like they're proud of being they don't.
They say it jokingly.
They don't consider themselves a racist. They consider themselves a truth.
Correct.
A truth expressor.
A pattern.
I speak the truth. I'm not a racist. That's usually what racists say.
Right. Nobody's like, no, I just dislike people because of their, they're black.
Well, yeah. Or I assume all black people are this way.
Right.
I assume all Asian people are this way.
Yeah.
Like that. I've never heard anyone be like, I'm a racist.
And he's like, there's two kinds. There's the kinds that admit it, and then there's the kinds that don't know.
Don't know?
Like the woman's talking about.
Right. But I think most racists don't know they're racist, or they don't call themselves
Or
racist.
they're not racist, and they're just called racist by other people.
Other people. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
These two guys would not be allowed into any of the meetings going on at this place. They would be rejected by every single group there. They would be called part of the patriarchy, part of the problem. And here they are thinking they're supporting them.
Why do you think they wouldn't be allowed?
Did you hear the way they handled those questions?
Because they don't feel qualified.
Well, they're white males. That's negative. They're not gay. They don't seem to be gay. And they're not committed. They are passively, they only got a foot in the water. They don't have any skin in the game. And they're the type of people who can, the messaging from these groups is very structured and coordinated. And you can't have somebody who gets flabbergasted by a cute girl who says something about, you like racist or billionaires better? That just levels them to the ground. You can't have somebody like that in the revolutionary movement. Okay, they'd be killed. They'd be the first ones killed in this movement, which we do ask them about killing billionaires.
I don't know.
What's worse, being a racist or a billionaire?
I don't quite know. I mean, I don't really know in the fact that I feel like I'm not qualified to answer the question.
What do you think is more immoral, being a racist or a billionaire?
I don't know. Probably depends on the person. They're both very bad.
Oh my God.
Probably.
Like, why is he even answering this question?
It's very bad to be a billionaire.
Like he's, the people that ran away from us. I'm like, come on, talk to us. But I get it.
Yeah.
Why does this guy think he has to answer these questions? He doesn't have to answer these questions.
He's like trying. He doesn't know what
Probably
to
a
say.
billionaire.
So you think it's worse to be a billionaire than a racist?
It's not really good to be either, but you need to see the numbers.
Yeah.
Like if you're a billionaire because of you're a hitman or something, you've killed people.
Like all billionaires.
Jeff Bezos made his billions by being a hitman.
Like all billionaires are murderers, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying all
Right.
billionaires are murderers, and all billionaires are worse than racist, is what he's saying.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But what,
So all billionaires are murderers. That's kind of a given, right?
indirectly.
All right.
It is funny with the contrast in the background.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for chatting with us. Any final thoughts?
Go dogs.
Go dogs.
Yeah, so I cut that off early, but when that ended, I said, fuck both of you guys for Go Dogs. What's your impression of that? I thought that was hilarious, but also fascinating because it seemed like they were trying to express what they thought was the right thing to say.
Yeah, it's not like they were trying to dig into their brain and come up with an honest, authentic answer. They were trying to think of what's the right thing to say here. What's the PC thing to say? What's the politically correct thing to say? Is what they were trying to do, which was funny because I guess I caught them off guard. But what I found fascinating, they weren't the only ones who answered the question that way. I asked that question to several people. What's more immoral, being a billionaire or being a racist?
Mm-hmm.
As if just being a billionaire is immoral. Like,
Right.
because everyone assumes, or at least everyone at the protest seems to assume that all billionaires are evil, which I'm sure many of them are. I'm sure many of them are responsible for murders. I don't know if they did the physical acts themselves. Probably not.
Yeah, they had Lindsey Graham do it.
But I'm sure Bill.
But just the assumption
Yeah.
that if you have this amount of money, you are therefore immoral.
Yeah, as if having money makes you evil. You know, a lot of people think that money is the root of all evil versus it's the love of money, right? It's not necessarily money itself that's the root of all evil. It's the love of money. It's coveting money. Yeah. So anyway, it's just funny how people equate like, oh, if you have a lot of money, you must be evil.
And they probably know nothing about the backgrounds of some of these people, these billionaires, people with money.
It's like who they just. It's like like you were saying. It's a vague zombie lie. You know, it's this narrative. All billionaires are oppressive. They all, they're all evil. They all just are greedy, which is interesting because I've actually met people who are billionaires, and they actually still care about the work they do. They don't have to work, but they just care about the work they do because they want to make an impact while they're still alive, and they are billionaires.
Tyler Perry's a billionaire. He's still doing Medea films.
Yeah, and it's not like he needs the money.
No.
Why do you think he's doing it?
To meet boys.
I don't know if his motivations are exactly pure. But I mean, you can't just assume. It's just interesting how like people think that if a billionaire is a billionaire, that's just more immoral than being a racist.
Like what Bible verse does that come from, or whatever book you're into?
I just find I find that really, really fascinating.
And they often give more. That not all of them, but I bring up the Starbucks guy because I've done a lot of research on a lot of these people when I was doing WSB, and I've done a lot of deep dives and profiles on some of them, and he seems to be a genuinely decent guy. And that's why it was interesting when he ran for president. He seemed like someone who might actually try and reach across the aisle and work through problems. And I tend to think most politicians are there for their own personal gain. That's my assumption. And you have to prove extraordinarily otherwise.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he did that, but he was on the right start to that. He doesn't have any scandals or corruption that you can find. He really seems to be like a guy who made it because he worked hard, who has done nothing but try and help people.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, fuck this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like of all the billionaires out there, they're targeting one that seems kind of
who would help
like
you.
A good guy.
Who wants to?
Who wants to help.
It's just like,
so it's kind of ironic that they're going after him.
Yeah, because they don't want people to solve problems. And he's been a problem solver. If you want to read Howard Schultz, I think he's got an autobiography, or just read about his background and how he created Starbucks. And I don't agree with all the stuff he did. He did a lot of promotional stunts, but that's what people do. But like the guy he doesn't seem to be. And you guys know me listening to the show. You guys know I'm critical of everyone. Like of all these people, I'm like distrust always start with distrust and make them overwhelmingly win your trust. And so I'm not saying this. I'm not being paid by the Jews, even though he's Jewish. But it's just, I did a couple shows on this, and it was so obvious that they did not want someone who was not going to be divisive, and because he was trying not to be. And that should tell you everything you need to know about politics. And stop fighting with people on X. Stop fucking yelling. They want you to fight with people. They're treating you just like they treat him. And these protests using this guy in that movie we saw, it was just crazy. They kept cutting the Starbucks documentary, the unionizing. They kept cutting to him with the ominous music and the Elon Musk, like you said. And then it would always be like a face that he's making that's like weird.
Yeah, it's like they deliberately picked a picture of him going kind of like smirky to make him look like a villain, which is so contrived.
It's good. It's just like
they kept showing like specific smiles, like of him going like. Like so he doesn't look friendly. Like I'm sure out of all the pictures, they're deliberately choosing the ones where he looks villainous.
And they did the whole build up too. He did all these awful things, and then we had this big meeting, and we showed up to stand up to him, and then they show him talking, and he's just very nonchalant.
Yeah. He's very calm. He's very he doesn't speak with any anger or animosity. He speaks
At all.
He speaks in a very calm tone. He's not trying. And they were like, "Oh, he's so condescending."
He wasn't at all. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and then he leaves the room, and then the girl stands up, "Wow!" and starts screaming after he leaves the room.
Yeah, it's like, who do you think is the more rational person? Like, I don't know.
And that's it right there.
Yeah.
Is they flip rationality on its head.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that one question. So to me, I'm interested because it raises a philosophical question. Like, do you think that by having a lot of money, that automatically destroys you?
Right.
Like, do you think it's the money itself? Like, do you think being a billionaire is just inevitably going to destroy you?
At what point? What's the line?
Like for instance, if you
of $999 million
suddenly had $1 billion,
just take it all away until I get right below.
But do you think it would corrupt you automatically?
I don't think it would. I don't think villains think that they are bad. So I don't know that I would be able to judge myself the way others would. So I think that people look at that number, and I think they make their mind up based not on the individual and based on that stereotype about a number. I think that I would try. Who needs $1 billion? Okay, I wouldn't give it to. I wouldn't use it the way all these people want to use it. But what I would do is I would spend a lot of money trying to get my friends to I'd be like, just go whisper Mike Tyson's ear, he's a pussy. Just see what happens. I'd pay him like $1 million to do that, just see what happens. But I would do fun stuff like that. And I would give it away, and I'm sure most people would.
You would give some of it away. But how do you know, like, how would you allocate the money? Like, if you were a billionaire?
That's how you determine it then. So if you don't give your money to the right places, the right events, or the right groups, then they're going to say you're evil, I guess.
But who's the arbiter of what the right groups are? How do we know what the right groups are? Because
I think we had Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams, what she says?
Yeah, she determines who is evil.
Who the right groups are, who the real charity organizations are.
Right. It's all in her romance novels.
Because I question a lot of these charity organizations if they are just a front for something else,
Do you give to them?
I'm not a billionaire. I don't have the money, really. I try
to be a billionaire to give at the Publix checkout line.
Well, I don't trust that. I actually do not trust
I don't either.
that. I haven't looked into it enough. But I don't know. I have a level of distrust for a lot of those organizations. So I don't know, but it's an interesting philosophical question because I don't think that money itself destroys people. I think it's our reaction to the money. It's when we start coveting money. It's the love of money.
Have you seen that happen to people?
It's the love of money that destroys people, not money itself.
Yeah, it's like a competition for some people. For me, as long as everything's taken care of, I don't really care about. Please donate to the show, guys. I'm not saying I need you guys to keep the show going, but it's people want to be the richest person. At least that's a narrative we see in the news. I don't know how true all that is. If there's a real competition for it. And there's like a Twilight Zone episode where these guys go in the future and they have all this gold they go find, and it ends up being gold's not worth anything. And I've always been of the mindset that it's like, if you know value you can bring to other people, then even if you have no money, then you can make money and survive. But I don't know. It seems to me like it's an easy way to rile people up and organize them by making it seem like people who have more money than they do are bad. Do you know anybody who's been super corrupted by money?
Yeah, I've met people that it seems like they're their entire life is just chasing money. That's like their whole purpose in life. They feel like they have to have money in order to feel successful, in order to feel powerful.
So they're well off already and they just want more?
Well, I've met people that have a lot of money and they're stressed out because they don't know what to do with it, or they're stressed that they're going to lose it.
Right.
And it's hard to manage that. So I haven't gotten to know a lot of billionaires that intimately. But I mean, I definitely feel like if you live in the United States, anybody can relate to this idea that like money is sort of like ruling us. Like money is controlling us. We're not really controlling it. It feels that way sometimes. Yeah. Like our whole life, we're just being a slave to the economic system, and we feel like we do have to have money to live. So
there's a status symbol.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. And so it's, I don't know if that's healthy to think that way, but it's kind of inescapable. I mean, I don't know what the solution is. I mean, people always criticize capitalism as if like that's like the worst system. But I mean, if it is, then why is the U.S. leading? Why does the U.S. have the best economy if capitalism is so terrible?
That's right. So that's part of this group that the PSL and the DSA. So the DSA will work within the system, the capitalist system, which the PSL sees as evil. And that's why Lenin hated them, but it was like, we're going to pretend to work with like them and work with them. But when it comes down to it, fuck them, because we want to tear the whole thing down. They're willing to work within it. And they want to tear down capitalism on the premise that they're going to give all the power back to the people. But the way that it worked in practice is that it just gave the power to Lenin and the other people who were leading the group, just like these groups of people. So the people in charge of the little organization became the dictators.
It just became authoritarian communism. So the idea was that, everybody would be equal. It would be a classless, moneyless society, which ended up being just an authoritarian communist government.
Yeah.
So that clearly doesn't work. I think capitalism is flawed. It's definitely not a perfect system, but
it didn't. So you were asking earlier about who believes it and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Lenin, he didn't give a shit about the principles. The people that were in power didn't give a shit about the principles. They understood that those appeals to
they pretended to care about the principles because the original principles of communism actually sound kind of fair.
Yeah.
But also it's like this notion that like, okay, I get that rich wouldn't have its meaning if poor people didn't exist, right? But just because somebody is striving to make money, it's equal opportunity. So, just because I want to be rich, that doesn't mean I want you to be poor.
It doesn't.
So that's where the logic gets flawed.
So it's not the small pie idea where it's like, you can want other people to be successful, but that's why these appeals are so powerful. Is people look for a reason to put their problems on the feet of somebody else, and they exploit that.
Yeah, so Lenin was basically taking these principles because they sound appealing when really he was the one who got the power. And so it's like, it's going to be all even and fair, except I'm going to be on the top.
Yeah, and they killed the people that helped them get there from the other parties.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't go along with the narrative and the anti-criticism thing, which is crazy.
Which is the complete opposite of what they supposedly... That's not the principle. It's
everything they claim to be fighting against is literally how they operate within their organization.
Yeah, it's very hypocritical.
So it has the criticism. Yeah, I was reading. So there's a book. That book I sent you. It's like a 12-minute short version of it, but what it be or whatever it is, whatever that the Lenin book about organizing is what most modern protest organizational structures are based on, is his theories on that. And just this idea of so there was some philosophies with communism or socialism and communism, they're one and the same if they come to fruition, that you can't create a socialist society if there's not discontent. If people, it has to be people in the country who are just they're so broke, they're so poor, they're so oppressed that they're going to rise up and they have to do something. And if that doesn't exist, those conditions don't, then you have to, some philosophy was you have to wait on that to exist.
Yeah.
The Lenin philosophy was you don't have to wait on it. You just create it. You make them think it exists.
Right, because the whole thing was that the proletariat will always fight against the bourgeoisie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to create that.
Yeah, and that's that group we were doing.
Yeah.
And so that was like, we're not going to wait around. We're going to create that feeling in people, and you train these people to be like struggle session people, and like we've talked about with Starbucks and whatnot. And he was very aggressive about that, and he was adamant about, we work with these groups. We never, ever, ever agree with them when they disagree with us, and they're not allowed to criticize us. And as soon as they got power, they killed them.
Yeah, yeah, it's horrible.
You don't like it?
No, it's horrible.
That's what was going on at this protest. They're not killing people, but some of those we're going to hit to the Reds here, and we're going to wrap up. But like, that's what those. I didn't even realize. I saw the different groups there, but it didn't even dawn on me that this was the United Front strategy. That and I say that and people just think United Front, it's a common word, but that's actually like a strategy that is in the communist papers that Lenin laid out on, I think it's the 4th Communist Conference, International Conference, and said, here's why we're using the United Front strategy, and here's how it works. Mm-hmm. And I'm reading through that earlier today, and I'm looking at this party, their website and stuff, and I'm like, these people are like pure Marxist-Leninists.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why they wouldn't talk.
Right. Yeah. Do you think that they would call themselves Marxists?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they do. I mean, that's how they describe themselves on their website and their philosophy.
Yeah.
Is this based on this Lenin?
Yeah. It's interesting. I remember we were joking. We were being like facetious about like, we have to kill and bomb the people who disagree or something like that.
Yeah.
And that one guy was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. And we were just joking, and he was like agreeing with us.
And the guy, we're walking through, and we're just being ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're talking about killing people with slow AIDS and nanobombs in their butthole and stuff like that. And you're just like, they just should fucking die. We're just being so stupid. And there's a guy walking with a backpack, and he has nice clothes on, looks healthy. And he's just laughing. We thought he's just laughing because we're being ridiculous.
Being absurd, yeah.
But he's like, yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, he was legitimately agreeing with us. We were talking about bombing the billionaires.
He starts yes-anding it.
Yeah, like bombing.
At some point, you got to do it, he said.
Yeah, bombing is the rational solution.
Just got a backpack and like $100 shoes on.
Yeah.
And it's just...
And he was legitimately agreeing that bombing is the rational solution. I was flabbergasted.
And a lot of them agreed with the slow AIDS solution.
You were joking about like, oh my gosh, all the billionaires deserve slow AIDS, and they were all laughing as if like, yeah, they do. It was wild. So let me ask you this, because I was curious. So who do you think is funding these groups? Do you think
like the United Workers and stuff?
Yeah. Do you think it's like Soros?
That's a good question. Soros, he funds a lot of groups like this. Let me look it up. Let's see, United.
Because that's what I was curious about. Like, who's actually funding these things?
Who funds?
And I could Google it, but I don't really trust a lot of the sources on Google.
So this is something that's like. I've looked this up before in the past. Who funds union? Yeah, I don't agree with the Google Copilot. I don't even like Copilot.
Like specifically like the DSA and
I know that George Soros is associated with a number of the, or his son is now, associations. They raise money on these events. Who fundraises?
If you know, comment in the chat. Let us know if you know who funds these protests and who funds the DSA and PSL and like.
So the DSA recruited AOC. They had a whole recruiting process for like people running for office. So they have a lot of money behind them. I'm not taking this right. But membership dues, that makes sense.
So is it just self-funded by dues?
I don't. So what I think from what I recall is they align with major philanthropists on their side, and they put money into these organizations, and then those organizations create these politicians. They nominate them. They auditioned basically AOC from this group of other young chicks who had gone to this international activist training, and she was just the best one. And they brought her in, and so I used to look at all the financial, when somebody runs for office, they have to publish who donates to them. And you can see all the names. And so Stacey Abrams, John Ossoff, always like 6 or 7 different Soros names in there. And always huge, like the Google guy, Sergey Brin at the time, I think. The big repeated donations, you just take those names, you plug them in, you see who they are, and it's often very wealthy people, and then they're often associated with nonprofits. And these politicians, like Stacey Abrams probably has 25 nonprofits that does exactly this stuff, where she trains people on how to be an activist, and she organizes the black vote. That's why she pops up always during an election cycle. But those organizations, they found out that the Biden administration, through I think it was USAID, had given one of Stacey Abrams' organizations like $25 million to do exactly this stuff, to raise awareness. And to what they would do is they would go to bars and they would find drunk people and black people, and they would get them to sign up, and then they would tell them how you come. We have a bus that will come help you vote.
Bribe them.
Yeah. And I know some people who were there at some of these events that they contacted me, and they said, yes, Stacey Abrams people came. And
yeah. And so what that tells me is that there aren't enough authentic opinions that support all these ideas that these slogans reflect. There aren't enough authentic people that really support these ideas. So that's why they're paying people.
Right.
Or
they assimilate them to the slogan instead of. Yeah.
They're paying people to do these protests to make it seem like there's a lot more there's a lot more people that actually believe these things, when the reality is more people are opposing those ideas. That's kind of what I glean from it, is that it's almost like these protests and everything, they're an illusion to make it seem like the left, almost like to make the left feel better or something.
Yeah, and they show them on television, and so it makes it seem like it's bigger than it actually is.
That there's actually a collective opinion, when really, like, I feel like a lot of those people, they don't even have an opinion.
No idea.
They don't have like a real authentic opinion. They're just there because they're getting paid, or they're there because they think it's something to do.
They're lost. Yeah, they need some direction.
And they also, I feel like they probably just capitalize off people's sense of worthlessness and purposelessness, because everybody wants to feel like they belong to a community. Everybody wants to feel like they belong. Right. So they kind of like use that as like a psychological technique, like, oh, now they feel like, oh, I belong in this group.
And their entire tactic is deception. So it's they're gonna look for Jeffrey Epstein would go after girls who came from broken homes, who were addicted to drugs, who needed direction, needed a North Star, and he would become the North Star. And it's a similar tactic.
Yeah.
That it sucks, but they look for the most vulnerable. And so there's a book called The Organizational Weapons, a study of Bolshevik strategy and tactics. I have it. It's in a box somewhere. I used to reference it all the time. But there's a whole chapter on the Bolshevik man, where it's crazy how detailed they get in the psychology of what makes someone vulnerable to the appeals to become either a vanguard or a low, person on the totem pole to work. And they describe, this is what a person who will be a committed vanguard will look like. This is what a person who will, be kind of a bitch in the bottom, but you can't trust them to do this. And when you think about the psychological studies, the social science experiments that they've been doing for I always tell people they have 100 years advance of us in doing that. We all think about that stuff sometimes now, but they've been researching that stuff for a very long time.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah,
it's been around.
And they're going to exploit that. And that's why it's anytime you feel too sure about something, especially.
That's when you should start questioning.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like conspiracy theories right now. So this stuff is actually correct. Vanguardism and mass mobilization. The Combat Party was not isolated. It worked to mobilize the masses, workers, peasants, and oppressed groups through strikes, propaganda, mass organizations. Lenin would use direct agitation and then brainwashing propaganda. So you directly agitate to get attention to the cause, and then you put out those feelers and those informational flyers like we received in those coaching sessions to raise the class awareness and indoctrination. I think it's fascinating, and it's not like they're the only ones that do it. It's anybody can use the same tactics. We could go start a cult right now.
Yeah. The other thing that bothers me about these protests is a lot of the slogans, a lot of the chants, it's all focused on the negative. What are you against versus what are you for?
Yeah.
People aren't talking about, what they're for nearly as much as what they're against.
Well, hate's a bigger driver than love.
Yeah. And so to me, that shows that it's a divide and conquer technique, because it's all about inflammatory, emotionally charged. They want everyone to get angry and irrational. So they're easily manipulated, is how I see it.
Yeah, logic and thinking through things. That's why they have this. You're not allowed to criticize.
Yeah, you're not allowed to criticize. So I mean, I don't want to be a part of any type of group or community that I can't.
So you're not going to join the PSL?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe for fun is to infiltrate and that would be kind of fun.
I think we should actually.
But we sort of exposed. I'd have to wear a disguise.
Well, we have to get the red shirts now. I did not even realize what that, because I thought it was more DSA focused, but going back through these clips and hearing so many of them.
It was both.
Yeah, it was a combination, but the militant ones were the PSL. Here's the AOC chick. Oh, and
You're the next AOC, by the way.
So we're trying to get up and talk to this chick she was just reading off of her phone while giving a speech.
Yeah.
She's
very well.
She's
polished.
a cute younger girl. So it's the next AOC, but she's just reading. She's actually retarded, and so I'm trying to walk up and talk to her, and there's a woman, a handicapped woman, trying to get through the crowd, and none of these dipshits would move. I'm trying to move people around, and I'm like, can you guys? But that woman's still cheering. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it was more important to get attention drawn to her than it was to help the handicapped person get through.
Right.
That was lower on the priority list for everybody.
It was
protest.
They didn't give a shit.
Nobody cared about
That's
that.
great. You did a great job. Sorry, there's a woman coming through here.
There she is.
Sorry, she's trying to get through.
Look at her. She's got a fucking helmet on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to get through.
She's giving the thumbs up.
Like, thanks, man.
Good job, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Hey, how did you come up with that as inspiring? Tell everybody your name. You did a great job.
Oh, hi, my name is Tasvia. I'm a PhD student at Emory University. I lead the PhD Workers Union at Emory.
You did fantastic.
Thank you.
You remind me of a young AOC. You have aspirations to be in politics?
I have aspirations to fight with the people and organize with the people. And
who's your least favorite millionaire?
Sorry?
Least favorite millionaire.
All of them.
All of them.
They're all, yeah.
Yeah, fuck all of them, right?
Fuck all
Pieces
of
of
them,
shit.
yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
A lot of them said that exactly.
All right.
They said all of them. And so here's Kim. This is what Kim did. Okay, so we go in there and we're shouting, "Screw you, billionaires! Screw you, capitalists!" We're shouting at people, Starbucks. And so we go into this. Was this Whole Foods or something like that? Grocery store.
It's a Kroger.
It's a Kroger, and there's a Starbucks in the Kroger, and there's nobody there. So Kim goes behind the counter at Starbucks.
There were workers there watching.
No, but there's nobody there, but people are in the back because they're closed. And so she goes back there and she says this. Let's you hear what she says.
I asked if they were unionized.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she got really infected with the power of protest. What was it?
If it can happen to me, it can happen to you. It can happen to anyone.
Yeah, and that's what happened afterwards.
I'm not immune to being brainwashed.
Yeah, fuck all of them, right? Pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I'm going to unionize this place. This place needs to be unionized. Are you guys unionized? If not, don't buy anything from Starbucks unless they're unionized.
All right, hell yeah.
So there's a guy standing to the right of her who
He's,
works.
like, scared.
He's just looking at her like, what the fuck is going on? There he is. And so Kim leaves here, and then I'm trying to tell the guy we're just fucking around. Apparently they alerted the police, and here's Kim running from the police. There she is running from the police.
Can I ask you? Well, I remember I was walking out of the door and I saw that same worker with the police
know what you're doing.
pointing, and he was like, "Oh, it looks like they just left," and he didn't see that I walked right past
so
him.
funny.
Well, we didn't commit any crimes or anything.
No, we didn't do
steal
anything wrong.
I was just, I was echoing what the baristas were saying in that documentary.
Right. I would have been the one to get thrown on the ground, stomped on.
Can I ask you a question?
So this was funny. There was a Trump guy.
Yeah.
There's 3 people doing the Trump guy here in the middle. And so I know some of you don't like Trump. We did this to be funny.
Yes.
We did this to be funny. And it was funny.
Just to be funny.
It's
It's not to be serious.
And here was their response to an unexpected question.
Question? How does it feel to be the greatest president this country has ever seen?
It's
Raising the roof.
Mr. Trump, what did you think of the protest today? Yeah, I see what you mean.
So for those listening, she asked that question, and so there's 3 people operating this thing, and one of them they just weren't really listening. So one of them starts raising the roof after she asked that question about the greatest president, and so it looks like it's like
It's like
hell yeah,
like they look like they're Trump supporters.
yeah, and then they paused, and you asked me the other one. It's like they had a conversation behind the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and then they just walked off.
They're like, wait a second.
They're all probably dead now because the PSL killed them.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
Thanks.
That was
I
hilarious.
feel like if you shared that second question, and just shared it like online, that other people would fill in the blanks with completely different
answers.
Different answers. Yeah. It would be interesting to see people fill in the blanks to that second question.
Mr. Trump, what did you think of the protest today?
Like, what do you think Trump would say there? What do you think? How would you?
I think there's very sick people. They're very sick people. We're the best economy.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Thanks for chatting.
That's so funny because Trump wouldn't walk away like that. He would give an
actually
answer.
Engage.
Yeah.
Trump will talk to anyone. So you gotta respect it. Like he'll talk to.
So these people are terrible Trump impersonators.
Yeah. Like what kind of Trump impersonation is that?
We got on a pause for a second.
What's the next?
So this is the guy that had the bullhorn, one of them, and PSL guy, red shirt. These guys were weird.
Oh man, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I can tell you.
I couldn't tell you.
Let's just keep that
It's
momentum
something,
going.
right?
He didn't know the next step.
Least favorite millionaire.
Yeah. No one knows the next step.
I mean, my least?
Yeah. Do you have a most favorite?
Oh no, there's no favorites. No favorites. I couldn't even say. At this point, I put them all in the same bag.
Right. So Peter Thiel, and so he's like the Antichrist kind of.
Oh yeah, all day. I mean, he's a Nazi.
How did you guys feel about? And then he walked off after that because somebody called him off. And so this is another group that also got called off.
What the rally today? Did you guys participate?
Oh yeah, we're members of the PSL.
What was the
PSL.
best part of it?
Oh, the best part of it? Yeah, I mean, I was doing outreach, and just the reception was amazing, especially on the Beltline. Like, it was really great.
What? So you got your information to a lot of people and got. Who are you with?
The Party for Socialism and Liberation.
If you live in.
And so right after that, she said, "Oh, we have to go do a liaison," and they walked off. And this guy talked because this guy was kind of weird. He thought I was gay.
He seemed a little uncomfortable.
In District 4 of Atlanta, I think it's just.
Yeah, wait, squeezing that bottle.
No, I'm sorry. Scratch that. If you live.
Oh, so he's telling about a candidate. If you guys want to look it up, look this candidate up. He's kind of he's a type of candidate that this group tries to put into local office, and that's a communist technique. Is people focus on national all the time, but what communist, and I say communist, anybody can do this, any group can do this, but it's a strategy that they're known for, is they target local politics because people don't pay attention to local politics, and you can actually win office locally. Like I know some people who've run as libertarians. You met Forrest Mommy, which she had never run before, and she got like almost 50% of the vote against an incumbent 12 years and no money, anything. So you can actually win. And so they do that, and they try and take over these administrative positions. And I believe Stalin, I think it was Stalin, who started as just like a secretary. And it was a powerful position where he could control who meets with whoever's in power, and that's how he worked himself up in the party. And it's these local positions, and this guy is right in line with all of this. And he might win if they have enough backing.
Live in this area, Matuo Sampson is running for Georgia State House.
Not to a Sampson?
Matuos.
Matuos. How do you spell it?
It's like Matthew, but with W-O-S. M-A-T-H-E-W-O-S.
M-A-T-H-E-W-O-S. Okay. Which billionaire is your least favorite? I don't like any of them, but if you had, which one's your least favorite?
Probably Elon Musk.
Yes. Elon Musk. Why?
Because he's a racist pedophile trying to end the world.
Do you hope he dies of AIDS?
No, I don't really. I'm not against the death penalty, so I can't.
Oh, okay. They're sticking to your principles, okay? On the other hand, hope a nanobot goes in his asshole and blows him up from the inside.
Hey, not bad.
How did you guys organize this?
Not bad. Not bad. Not a bad idea.
So these are the two dudes we walked up to that they were trying to clean everything up afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, we're not.
I told you to make sure you keep the mic to your mouth when you're talking. Then I go up and talk to people, and I'm just.
Yeah, it's easy to forget.
In the groups that organize it together, but we all got together. I was on the sound, so we all
did a great job.
We have different jobs, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So they.
What is this guy with his shirt all the way unbuttoned? Give me a break.
Is it organizers here, or are there organizers helping at the national level?
I like how he tied it too, so you can see some of his stomach and some of his. So
it's like a Louisiana jazz band, the '70s.
It's really erotic.
This guy, yeah, he's probably bottoming out. This guy. So I asked him what they're doing next, and this is when he gets kind of see how they look at each other.
Nobody knows.
Look at how they look at each other too, like they can't.
They're like,
answer.
wait, they're searching each other for the answer, and they both are realizing,
Yeah.
wait, what are we doing next? Why are we here?
And they're not allowed to say too.
Yeah.
I
So
think
if they do know something, they're not.
I think they do, and I think that they wouldn't tell
so
us.
it's not that they don't know. You think that they just don't want
Yeah.
to say it. Okay.
We all
did a great job.
We have different jobs, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So they. Is it organizers here, or are there organizers helping at the national level?
We're a national political party. We run our own candidates and everything, but this is a coalition event with many different organizations.
I see. Very cool. Very cool. Do you have a least favorite billionaire?
Peter T.
So who the fuck is this guy that walks up? And so you see that this guy walks up in the background, says something to him. He gives like a. Did you see that?
Yeah. They exchanged this little.
That was weird.
Private glance. I mean, it could mean a lot of different things, but it may be that like.
Let's assume the worst.
Organization.
I see. Very cool. Very cool. Do you have a least favorite billionaire?
Peter Thiel.
Peter Thiel. What about you?
It's interesting interaction.
What
They nod
What
with
should
each other.
Peter Thiel's fate be?
I'm not going to say it.
Nanobots up the butt, blow them up from the inside.
Sure.
No, we're slow aids. We don't know. Thank you guys for talking to us. What's your favorite part?
Oh, I wasn't actually able to go up to the march. I was standing over here, sorry.
What did you see over here that you liked the most?
Oh, I can't really speak on that. I gotta help pack up.
I can't speak on that.
You can't speak on that.
I think he was uncomfortable because some people are just really uncomfortable being filmed. Or it's possible like he has information that he doesn't
He's got
wanna.
information.
He
We should have tortured him.
I don't know. He said he wasn't even part of it though.
I think that he was told he had to stay there to watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I gathered.
Okay, maybe you're right. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we find him and we
figure it out.
we put a hood over his head.
We can reverse image like things and try to find
We
people.
should find all these people.
I feel like you know more about that than I do.
Well, why would you say something
How
like
to
that?
track people to us. I don't know.
They go to these meetings. We should try to infiltrate. This, this is you yelling, "Fuck the capitalists!" All these people.
Capitalists!
Hey, dog!
Capitalists!
Fuck capitalists!
We were yelling. We were screaming at just regular people.
Just pointing and being like, capitalists!
Fucking piece of shit.
Because they're not marching.
Power to the workers. See all the signs there? They're all these manufactured signs.
I agree. Like, I don't want there to be kings, and I don't want there to be war. So it wasn't hard to get behind the chanting.
I agree with that as well.
I agree with that.
And then they rope it in with no ice, no borders.
Yeah, as if they're
No
all...
gender.
Yeah, as if,
Wait a minute.
Wait
Wait a
Now
second.
we're getting a little carried away.
There she is again.
Not the war machine! Not the war machine!
Thank you.
All right, so I think that's all I cut. I mean, we have a lot more footage. I'm going to cut some of that in like a shorter version where it's like a funny edit. You did a really good job. It was a good time. What was your, what was your takeaway? What did you learn from the experience?
I learned that I really want to get a job as a union organizer because I feel like I could make a lot more money doing that than what I've been doing. No.
I mean, they do make decent money.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should try that lifestyle out. I'm getting kind of bored with my life.
It'd be an acting role.
Yeah.
You'd have to, and so you could, if you have to get, I guess, asked to be, so maybe you get a job at Starbucks, okay?
Yeah, I start there.
And the first day you show up 30 minutes late.
On purpose.
Yeah.
And then I say I got fired because I wanted to create a union.
Yeah.
And I say that.
You accuse the boss of just like molestation.
On the very first day.
Yeah.
And that they tried to kidnap me.
You contact this bitch we talked to.
Yeah, she might remember me.
She will.
Hopefully
She definitely
doesn't see
will.
This kind of blows my cover though.
She's not watching this show.
Then and then I could, just try the lifestyle on for a little while, and I could report back. I could infiltrate and report back.
Are you worried that you might get infected by that mentality?
The woke mind virus, as Elon Musk
Elon
would
puts
say.
it, yeah.
I don't know if I like that phrase, the woke mind virus, but yeah.
I think they're just like Elon, though. I think they use the woke mind virus thing. I think they pretend the ones that are in charge of these groups. I think they use it to organize people.
Yeah, so it's interesting because you interpreted a lot of their answers as like, oh, they actually do have a plan. They actually know what the plan is next. They're just not telling us. I interpret it as they're just they don't even know what's really going on. They have no clue. So it could
You
be.
think none of them had a clue?
Not none of them, but I mean, again, I think some people obviously know. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that are probably there don't actually know what's really going on. They're being fooled. And they're being lied to. Is
Right.
My
Oh,
guess.
I would agree
my
with that.
guess. So, but I think like the people that like in the hierarchy, I think the higher ups probably know.
So this group is, and this is just the Wikipedia page. I looked at their website, and it does check out. PSL, those are the red shirts, is a Marxist-Leninist party. their program and constitution. They identify the PSL as Marxist, while other writings identify them as okay. In the Leninist Party model, socialists such as Green presidential candidate. So they describe a primary goal as a revolutionary overthrow of capitalism and the institution of socialism, stating that humanity today has only two choices: an increasingly destructive capitalism or socialism. PSL holds that the United States is a dictatorship of the capitalist class that cannot change without a socialist revolution. And some of the ones that back them, that helped bring them to prominence, because they're relatively new. 2004, I believe they started. You were asking about who funds them. I think it's related to some of these groups. The People's Forum. Who's the guy? Okay, so many of the organizations are funded in part by Naveel Roy Singham.
Do you know who that is?
I don't. It says here, it's this guy.
An American. So it's like the billionaires
are funding them. Yeah, right.
The billionaires are funding a protest called
Workers versus
over
billionaires. Uh-huh.
So they're creating this fake drama against themselves.
That's right.
For what purpose? What's the end game? What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Below.
Comment below in the chats. Smash that like. This guy's Shanghai-based American billionaire who supports organizations and media outlets that have been noted for echoing pro-Beijing talking points. Most of the funding comes from the Justice and Education Fund. I believe that's where AOC came from, to which he has donated more than $20 million, and for which Claude De La Cruz works as a coordinator. Who's Claude De La Cruz? So all of the, so if you go through these, and Wikipedia, you have to verify everything with Wikipedia. I'm not just trusting Wikipedia, but you click on the links and you see if it gives information or studies or goes back to the website. But like this page here was fascinating to me because I did not expect them to be this. So this says that they call for 90%. Well, I agree with cutting the military budget. I don't disagree with that. They support the Workers' Party of North Korea. They describe North Korea as a communist government. North Korea is one of the few top to bottom actually existing alternatives to global capitalist system. Now, I've never been to North Korea.
Neither have I.
I have no idea what it's actually like over there. I just trust Dennis Rodman. Yeah, I don't actually know what it's like over there, but I don't know that they do either. It's interesting.
I wonder if they're happy, if the North Koreans are happy. You know, it's interesting.
We should have a North Korean.
A lot of really interesting films are being made, like Korean.
North Korea?
Yeah, Korean shows, like the what was that movie? Parasite. You know, that was about the economic class system of Korea.
Really?
Like North Koreans. That was one of like the themes. And
it's
then
called Parasite.
Parasite. You never saw it?
Uh-uh.
It's actually a really good movie because it starts out, you think that you're watching a certain genre and then it gets flipped on its head and it's all about class. And then there's another interesting show about the class system, you know, the differences between North and South Korea. It was called Korean Money Heist.
Oh, I think I heard of that one.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting, but I don't know what really goes on over there because I haven't been there either. But
Pass me some of that gum there if you could. This is our we have cocaine gum.
Apparently, there's a product
caffeine gum.
that has caffeine.
I tried it the other day and I was all jacked up for like an hour.
Oh gosh, well yeah, there you go.
There's no telling what's gonna happen. North Korea and South Korea are interesting to me because I know nothing about them other than Kim Jong-un is hilarious. He loves basketball. And South Korea elected an AI president, deepfake president.
Wait, you're joking?
No.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
When?
It's in 2022.
Are you serious?
Here's what happened.
This is a joke.
No, so you see the campaign ads right now with this guy in California.
Yeah.
and it's all AI, and it's like funny and it's ridiculous. In 2022, the incumbent, the guy running against him, he was a conservative. Trump, I love this guy. He started using a deep fake of himself in the ads that was looked a little younger, looked a little hipper, and used language that spoke a little bit better to the younger people. And it really resonated and became popular. So he would then go do live events, and he would become his deepfake. He would use the same language his deepfake was using, so he could maintain his popularity. And his opponent, the sitting president or whatever they call it over there, called him out, was like, this is bullshit. This is all fake. But then he saw how well it was working. And so he started doing the same thing.
Oh, him and his opponent. They were deep faking
So there's two fake people running against each other. Two people who are becoming their deep fakes at live events. And the voters choosing somebody's not a real person, literally, electing the guy who challenged the incumbent. He won. His deep fake won. And he continues to use the deep fake stuff as president. So there's a real person behind it. But what won was the facade.
The facade. I mean, that's really no different than any other election, though. It's the facade. It's not like every president is being transparent all the time. Like, I mean, it's a fine line.
Really?
So it's like, that's not that different. But it is funny that a deep fake. You can arguably say, yeah, they have a deep fake for their president. It's pretty funny.
And at what point do you even know?
The difference between a facade.
Right. He could just be chilling. He could be, here. He could be in the White House hanging out and be, my deep fake's got it.
Yeah. He's just sitting around watching porn, playing video games.
Like whacking
and
it
his
off.
deep fake is like actually doing all the policies.
Yeah, his deep fake is the only one not addicted to porn.
That's probably realistically what's going on.
And so
it would be shocking.
They talk about North Korea and South Korea, and you never really hear people talk about South Korea as though it's, North Korea, they'll be like, the people there don't even know what trees are. They don't know what a computer is. They're the dumbest people who's ever. And then South Korea, it's like, oh, it's a very thriving, popular. I'm like, aren't they pretty close together?
Yeah, they're pretty close, but so yeah, it's interesting to think that they're that drastically different when they're that close together.
Yeah.
But then when you hang out in Atlanta, you go 5 feet and
true.
there's like a big difference.
There's a shooting.
Yeah, I mean, like at the Terra Theater.
You might get
that particular area, lots of like crime, very different culture than like a block away.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot nicer.
You're right. So you're saying North Korea is black, South Korea?
No, I'm just saying like it's
no, I get. So I wonder, they're promoting North Korea. I wonder if they know anything about it. Probably not. I don't know. All this stuff is wild because I hate protests. I like going to like what we did. I thought was fun. I like to do stuff like that. The thought of genuinely going out and being a part of a protest is, I would feel like a brainwashed retard. And people send me messages sometimes. They get mad at me saying, well, you're against the right to protest. No, I'm not against the right to protest. But what I'm saying is that protests are astroturfed. They're manipulated. They're trying to rope people in to do things that the organizers don't give a shit what happens to the people who are on the street, who might get arrested, might get killed, might get shot. They don't care because they're up in whatever. They're making money from these nonprofits, and they don't give a shit. They show their political acumen by organizing the most amount of people to take action against their own best interest, and fuck all that. It's just so. I think a lot of these people, some of them I do think do know what's going on to a certain extent, but I think most of them are probably just well-intentioned people that don't have anything else to do.
I think we should protest the protests.
Hell yeah.
I think we should start a protest for the protest. Like we should just start marching in the street.
Make some signs.
And make some signs that are like anti-protest.
Hey, hey, ho, ho.
These protests have got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make the most rational sense.
I think we should do that. Absolutely. All right, Kim, any other takeaways from the experience? I thank you for going with me. I thought it was fun. Did a good job. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was also a little anxiety inducing. I was a little nervous that something crazy might happen. I was happy that nobody got hurt. And
You didn't want to see anybody get hurt?
No, I don't like
I thought you enjoyed seeing people get
I
hurt.
don't like seeing people get hurt at all. And
Were you worried that was going to happen?
I was curious if there would be some like provocateur, like
set things off.
some inciting incident to try to like get people really riled up. So
Right.
there's like a fight or something. But that wasn't the case. It was just marching and chanting. It kind of felt like going to a yoga class and just saying Om, with a little more enthusiasm.
Yeah.
You know, like chanting Om like over and over and over
More-
again with
more
a lot more
transgenders.
anger and
So I think that, nothing popped off. I don't know if it's a lack of trying. I think they can have provocateurs at January 6th style or BLM. See, people talk about the January 6th provocateurs. There was also provocateurs with the BLM stuff. Guys in black suits breaking windows first. They do it on both sides. I don't think it was that aggressive, but I think that they would have been happy if someone, like maybe we were calling pussies and we were yelling at capitalist faggots, we were yelling at them like that. So if one of those people had jumped off from one of those outdoor restaurants and done something, I think they would have happily embraced something like that because it would have given them the opportunity to focus the media in on it, because they have all these media strategies. They send these resources out where they tell them, here's how you capture everything. Here's how you get the right people there. We were filmed. Like I said, we were not just in the background of that video that I told you about. Actually, I can't remember that guy's name. He's a pretty popular YouTuber. It has a lot more views than this is going to get for sure. And we're in the background of it. But they want to get attention to it. And a lot of the footage, there are cameras on us. And you can see the camera person switch to us, and we would shift directions a little bit. Yeah, I think maybe some of them thought we might be provocateurs.
because we were like pointing and being like capitalists.
Yes. And we were being there's one as a shot of you like screaming at the camera, and then there's this old woman in the background just like looking at you like she just wants to kill you.
Oh gosh. I was just trying to if you're gonna go big, if you're gonna do it, you might as well commit. I was committing to the character. Like that's how I'm trained as an actor. If I'm playing a character, I commit.
You committed. You had the sign. I couldn't understand half the slogans they were chanting. They were screaming.
Yeah, at one point I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare.
Yeah, I have that. Cut that for sure.
You were like saying all kinds of crazy stuff.
And then we asked people that we thought would be against us on the side. We asked them if they were capitalists or something like that. Remember, we were walking up the side during the march, and there was like these people, and we're like, ask them. And then they were like, totally, and they agreed with everything. They're like, oh, we fucking hate billionaires.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like people thought that we were on their side for sure.
And then you tried to get in the car with that black woman.
Oh yeah, she was offering us. I mean, it's interesting because like they were offering us a ride. They were like, "Do you want to ride in our car? We'll take you back." Like she's just blindly.
She was just offering people,
trusting us.
Right.
Like, we could be
She's in the basement
psychos.
right now.
We could be crazy, but she was gonna like let us get in her car and she was gonna drive us back. Yeah.
Where would she have taken us? Is the question.
Do you think that she was gonna like if we had gotten in the car? Do you think she would have taken us somewhere?
I think it's possible because I think by the end of that they had circulated information about us.
Really? You think it was
I really
that?
do. I don't have, because we have so much footage. Before this started, I was like, we should just get an hour so we don't have too much, and we have like 2.5 hours. But there's somebody behind us in all of these shots that like common people.
Yeah, they could just be random people just watching.
Yeah.
They have a camera. I mean, there were other people there with cameras.
Yeah, I know, but these people were. It's similar to the other guy's video. Somebody was like following him. They have red shirts on, and they look at us when we're not even doing anything.
People were specifically surveilling us.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I take it as a compliment.
Yeah, no.
I
that
like
guy,
being
yeah.
on camera.
Well, they were surveilling us. There was people that were there following us, and I think that if we got in that car, I don't know what, maybe we'd be members of the DSA or the DSL, dick sucking lips. What is it called?
The DSA, the PSL.
PSL. They should, the PSL.
The
Penis sucking lips, of course. They should really have thought about that before they did it.
But I feel like I did try to go into it with an open mind, and I wanted to be surprised. Like if somebody offered a real solution or a real strategy or a new idea that I hadn't thought about before, I would have been pleasantly surprised. But I didn't come away with any new idea, any practical
No perspective
solution.
change or anything?
No. So yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of I just don't see what that accomplished really. I don't really see it.
So that's a good question. Then we'll get out of here. What did that accomplish for whoever was in charge of this?
Yeah,
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Instead of like the individuals there, they're there. They're some of them they don't even know why they're there. But the people who organized it, from my perspective, going to these other ones, that was the most impactful, effective one I've ever seen firsthand. Mm-hmm. And I would, the guy at the end who I talked to, he was excited about the number of people who went there. He couldn't tell us what was happening the next day because it's above his authority. I would say, if I'm putting myself in their position, I'd say, yes, we have more mindless people who've showed up to do something mindless. I mean, that's power. You don't believe in power. But that, from their perspective, that's brainwashing,
Okay, so it perpetuated mindlessness.
Yes, and they gave us that thing in that second trans person you talked about it also, the 2028 goal of the mass worker strike or whatever it was they were calling it. They have a whole list of things that they have it's just like a content calendar. Mm-hmm. They have all these things that they're striving towards, and they have this obviously well-structured organization that they're implementing steps into accomplishing. And the more people you can get to come do these things, they don't even need to know that. You just need to get them there, and you need to get them repeating your slogans and carrying your signs and chanting your chants and beating your drums. And everyone that we spoke with that seemed to be in the know on that seemed to be excited that, yes, this is a great turnout. We're looking forward to this 2028 where we want to actually have an even bigger impact. I question whether they can, because when Trump is out of office, it's going to be harder for them to exploit that. But yeah, the whole thing, the Leninism thing, and I keep going back to this. You don't need to actually have discontent and pain. You can create it. And with mass media, it's another thing that back then, and it's 100 years ago, the effectiveness of what they did was because of newspapers, and they could spread information more. But right now, you can plug right into people's brains with this shit. Uh-huh. And social media.
Yeah, because of social media and the internet, it's a lot easier to propagate some narrative that, oh, I am a victim, I am oppressed, oh, I am treated unfairly. Yeah, I need to do something about it by marching in the street. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier to do it now than back in the day when Lenin was alive. And one question I would ask, since all of the DSA and PSL people call themselves Marxists and socialists, I would be like, so how do you feel about the idea of like people getting killed for criticizing? Like, how do you feel about that?
That's a good question.
I would ask them. I'd be curious to know what they say.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously they think socialism is a good thing.
I wonder if they know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, the ideology versus the actual practice, the result. Yeah. The ideology is one thing. The result of it is something different. Like if you look at like the ideology of communism, a stateless, moneyless, classless society, that sounds like, oh, we're all just kind of, no one owns anything. Everyone owns everything. Okay, maybe that is fair. Maybe that is a way we can all get along. But then the execution of it just results in authoritarianism,
Right.
communism. So I feel like it's pretty easy to get duped by an ideology when you're not thinking about the realistic execution of
Right.
that ideology.
And if you're emotionally overwhelmed by what the promises are of it.
False promises.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't, because people are naturally, I mean, history is bound to repeat itself. So I would also ask them, so what makes you think socialism would be successful now when considering what happened back in Lenin's era, you know?
Yeah, right.
What makes you think socialism would be successful
I wonder
now?
if they even know the historical idea of it. Maybe they do know. I've heard some arguments where it was just the wrong person.
The wrong person trying it.
The wrong person
we
in
just
charge.
need a different
We need
leader.
a more benevolent
Another leader.
Yeah.
Another leader for a concept that's supposed to have no leaders.
It's just
It's like leaders are naturally going to form. It's like the concept of anarchy. You know, when I was in high school, I
right.
was like, oh, I want to be an anarchist. And
Oh, yeah?
But then you think government, like leaders are always going to form. You know, so it doesn't. The practicality of putting that idea into real
right, that vision of no leadership and freedom. So there's that picture of oppression that you have right now, and that's why you find these people who feel easy to make them feel like they're oppressed by the system.
Yeah.
And then make them promises of what if you're in charge, even though it's like, but I'm going to be in charge. The people telling them that. And then they want to have that, and you give, like the Starbucks girl, you get that position of power, and it goes to your fucking head.
But it's basically a hypocritical ideology because it's an ideology that promises no one is in charge except the leader.
Right.
Except those who are in charge.
And that's what's like, yeah, so you're thinking, though. So this is what it gets down to. And I know you like this kind of stuff. It's emotion versus logic. Nobody's joining these movements based on a logical analysis of reality.
Right. It's all an emotional.
It's pure emotion.
Yeah.
And that is what humans are driven by. That's like we can understand things logically all we want, but it will never overpower our emotion. And we can be more like Spock, and we can get better at it. But Captain Kirk's always going to rule.
Well, if you practice learning how to regulate your emotions, when somebody's like trying to like brainwash you into something and you have the tools to regulate your emotions and the ability to think a little more critically, you aren't necessarily going to fall for every ideology that's just going to result in what history is not going to repeat itself. I mean, history will repeat itself. If we're trying the same thing over and over again, we can't expect different results. So that's the definition of insanity.
But what do people expect? So what from your, because you're very good at that. Like you do mindfulness stuff, and you've sent me videos that have helped me sleep better. And I because this is something that I struggle with doing what I do. The easy thing to make money for me to do would be to become a grifting propagandist, because I understand how it works. I can spot all the people that do it, and I can scream at the top of my lungs to friends of mine who I know are being robbed and manipulated by them, that they're being robbed and manipulated by propagandists. And they will get mad. They will later go, oh shit, you're right. But the deception wins out in the moment because it appeals to that emotion. I'm trying to appeal to this logic. And it's sometimes I get real emotional trying to appeal to the logic. What do you want me to do? Be a fucking propagandist like them? You scream. You call me a 7K shill. Do you understand what you're fucking? It's just it's mind-boggling the ease of which it is to get people who have been very logical and smart in other aspects of their life to just become NPCs repeating a meme against or for something that they hate or love, and attacking anyone who shows any nuance about it. And so I it's very frustrating to try and speak to that and just be called a slur by both sides. I don't care about the slur. I don't give a shit about that. What's frustrating to me is like, you're being lied to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it makes my heart feel warm when there's people who send me messages who are on the other side of that. But what's your thought on that? Just, I don't have a real question there, but just this idea of how do we know we're emotional, but we know we have to be logical because our emotions are used to manipulate us by what we're surrounded by. We have to become more like Spot. We literally fucking have to if we are going to survive.
Yeah, and I don't think abandoning our emotions or repressing our emotions or ignoring our emotions is the answer. It's about regulating our emotions and understanding the difference between an emotional response and a logical response. And what I teach is breathing techniques, meditation, movement that can help put your brain out of this stressed fight and flight mode. So when our sympathetic nervous system is activated, we have beta waves in our brain and we're constantly stimulated and we're stressed. Most of us in the US are stressed all the time. And I think the powers that be want us to be stressed because when we're stressed, it's hard to think clearly. It's hard to think critically. We're just chasing that dollar. We're just trying to survive. And so a very simple way of overcoming that, what I teach is just things like breath work, taking a moment, taking time to sit and be still. Just be still with your thoughts, okay? It's a form of meditation, and it's hard to do, especially when we feel like we have a million things we have to do. But if you just take 5 minutes out of your day to close your eyes and just focus on your breath. Deepening and lengthening your breath can activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's natural rest, digest, and repair mode. And when you're in that parasympathetic state, you're more susceptible towards logical thoughts. And that's a way you can regulate your emotions. So say like you're online and you're looking at all this stuff, you're looking at these protests and you're getting all like angry, right? You're getting angry, you're getting anxious. If you pause, take time to be still, regulate your breath, bring all your attention, all your awareness to your breath, and just start observing your thoughts. Because there's a part of our brain that doesn't just have thoughts. A part of our brain can observe those thoughts. And if you tap into that space, your thoughts start to slow down and you'll find more space between your thoughts. And that's where your freedom lies, is by slowing down your thoughts.
No, I agree with you. It's good advice. She's
and-
right, by the way. Like this, I used to think this was yoga bullshit until I started doing improv a while ago, and then I learned more about it, and I started reading about it, and learned a lot about it from Kim, and just the techniques you can do. It's so your fucking thoughts are physical things, literally.
Every thought has a physiological reaction, and a lot of times we think that our thoughts are our own. We may not realize how much of our thoughts are actually programmed.
Absolutely.
By media that we consume. So the more that we separate from technology and just from people, from anyone who's constantly trying to tell us what to think, the more we take time to be still, to be quiet. It can be uncomfortable at first. It can certainly be uncomfortable at first. But when you sit in that discomfort, sometimes you'll feel bored, sometimes you'll feel anxious.
Self-judging.
And judging our thoughts as like good or bad, or attaching all these narratives to those thoughts. When you can just observe your thoughts without judgment, you can tap into a space where you feel a little more freedom in your own mind. And I might have mentioned this to you before, but there's a quote I really like by Viktor Frankl. He says, every choice we have, within that choice, there's a moment where we can, it happens so quickly, but when we can tap into that space where we actually feel like we have more control over our choices, that's where our freedom lies. So it can be tough because we're very much like computers and we're programmed. So I don't know.
Freedom is painful.
I found,
Also.
I don't know. I found a lot of moments of peace just by meditating and practicing breath work and yoga and things like that. And I've also been able to find moments where my perspective changes and I start questioning my true desires and my, it's like an inward journey where you can discover. And it's an interesting.
An inward journey?
Yeah, you have to look at meditation as like an inward journey, like a journey within your own mind to see what is back there. And it's also a way of tapping into the subconscious mind.
I mean, that's the only way you can grow, though, is doing that, right? Is having that downtime to discover what you're saying. Is that's
creating that downtime for yourself, because the subconscious mind is actually what's running. We think our thoughts are conscious, but they actually come from the subconscious. Mm-hmm. So meditation is a way to kind of merge the subconscious with the conscious mind. So you start realizing kind of your subconscious. It can be a long, fun process, but I encourage you, if you're listening out there, if you've never tried meditation or breath work or yoga, they're all different tools to kind of reevaluate your own choices and to kind of ask yourself, okay, are these thoughts really my original thoughts, or are they just,
have they been programmed into me by the DSA and the PSL?
Yeah.
I ask you that because as someone, as I've told you and I mentioned, and I've talked about on the show a lot, I used to think all this stuff was very gay. But it's not. It's a physiological thing in your brain. You create these thoughts. You have these whatever they're called. What are the things in your brain every time you have a thought? Your thoughts are a real thing in your brain.
Neurons?
Your Neuralink.
Pathways.
Your neural.
No.
Your neural pathways.
Your neural pathways. So practicing yoga can actually increase the neural plasticity of your brain.
That's right. Yeah.
So whenever you're learning new ways of moving your body, like when you're learning dance, for instance, dance, yoga, even different types of fitness, basketball is one of them too. But when you're learning to move your body in a new and different way, it opens up neural pathways in your brain. So you're more susceptible to creative thought.
Mm-hmm. And so the negative thoughts we have.
Yeah.
There's a book called Don't Think About a Pink Elephant. I talk about it all the time because if you tell somebody not to think about a pink elephant, they're going to think about a pink elephant.
Yeah.
So people have these thoughts where like, I don't like myself, I suck, I'm bad. If that's what predominates their mind, those are the strongest neural lobes in their mind. And they are literally physical things in your brain.
Yes, and you might not even realize that you have that negative programming until you sit still,
exactly,
quietly, and then you start observing your thoughts. Because a lot of us are walking around like on autopilot. We don't even realize we have this like negative programming
controlling us.
And but when you sit still, you can discover those things.
Right.
Yeah, and then it's about how do we shift our mind? How do we shift those thoughts into something that's actually
affirmations,
positive? Yeah.
I mean, laugh. I'm serious though. Yeah. It's you say those things. It's like going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You build that muscle. Mm-hmm. You atrophy the negative one.
Right. Exactly. It's training your brain to think positively and not lose hope for the things that you hope for. Because if you lose hope, then you lose the ability to see that the glass could be something else.
Do you think people have lost hope?
I mean, I think a lot of people have. A lot of people think like, their goals, their ambitions are kind of futile. I feel like a lot of people have lost hope in humanity. I think a lot of people feel like everyone is just kind of selfish and greedy and power hungry. And I
like the promise didn't come to fruition.
Whoever promised it, I don't
right.
know, but like,
but the power is in yourself, though. Like what you're saying,
yes,
is that to me is hope.
Yes, and you have to trust in your own ability to. If you don't like the thoughts in your mind, you have the power to change those thoughts.
Absolutely.
And you have the power to change your choices. You can be anything you want to be. Like, you really can. As an actor, I practice that skill a lot. You know,
Yeah.
as an actor, I'm constantly practicing the skill of changing my mindset, changing my brain,
Yep.
to think differently, to feel differently.
Yep.
So it's anybody can do that. It's not like some superpower. Like,
And you can fucking do it too.
Yeah.
You can fucking do it. It's tough. It's tough because you feel a certain way and you're told certain things and we get so set in our ways. But once you start to just kind of like tell yourself different things in your mind, you got to repeat it all the time. You got to stop saying the negative shit. You got to say good shit about yourself. You got to fucking tell yourself that you're unstoppable. You got to repeat it. And then you got to just do shit. You got to look at the rules and you got to say, fuck the fucking rules. And you just got to do it, because if you don't like what you're doing now, then what the fuck is following the rules getting you? So fuck the fucking rules and just do something. And the worst case scenario, you get the same outcome. So just fuck the fucking rules. I can promise you, because I've done this many, many times. Every job I've ever gotten in my life is because I said, fuck the fucking rules. And I went and got it a different way, because you don't want to try and like promote yourself in a way where it's only going to make you look like you're unqualified. So fuck that. Show how you're fucking qualified. It's just all this stuff we see on TV is fucking bullshit. I fucking hate it. And you guys are all fucking badasses. And what Kim is saying is right. And you control your thoughts, you control your life, you control your breath, you control your life. I suck at that, but I'm getting better at it. Learning from you is you know, this stuff gets me worked up, so I don't mean to go off on a high horse. I know we've been doing a show for a while now, but comments said great guest, and you said there's a common saying, JC, that most of our thoughts aren't our own. Yeah, it's exactly right. And you said the new LP slogan should be "Freedom is painful." So, are you going to the National Convention, LP, or anybody listening? It's in, I think it's in a couple weeks.
oh, there's a national convention?
Yeah, there's one. I think it's in Michigan. I was asked if I was going to go by some people. If you guys are going, let me know if you're going. And I will go if I can speak and I can just tell them how shitty they are at optics, like I do all the time. So if some of the people ask me when I go, give me a spot to speak, and I will just rail them the whole time, and then I'll come.
That's your condition.
That's my condition. I will come. Yeah. All right. So tell everybody where they can find you.
Also, let me know if you have any mantras that you tell yourself, like positive mantras, affirmations, things like that. You can find me different ways. I have a website. It's just yogaflowwithkim.online. If you're interested in like mindfulness coaching, or like I teach fitness. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a nutrition consultant. I just enjoy helping people get healthy, mind, body, and spirit. But I take my work seriously, but I don't take myself seriously.
No,
That makes
she's
sense.
very retarded.
But you can find me on Instagram. One of them is Kim_Ham22. I post a lot of silly stuff on there and like film, art stuff. My yoga one is just Yoga Flow with Kim. I have a YouTube, Yoga Flow with Kim. Another YouTube that's just Kimberly Hamilton Actress. And then I have a bunch of stuff. So yeah, if you follow me on one of them, you'll probably find links to the other. So
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. You guys know where to find me at Freedom Act Radio on X. Propaganda Report, or propagandafight.com is my website. The Propaganda Report podcast on all your podcast listening apps. And you're right, I should unify all those names into one thing. YouTube.com/Brad Binkley, Rumble.com/Propaganda Report. If you want to get access to the show, the subscriber-only show that I do with Austin Picard and Sam Tripoli, called Whatever This Is. We do it once a week, deep dive, conspiracy dive, redundant. Go to propagandareport.locals.com and patreon.com/propaganda report. Subscribe to the lowest levels there. And if you want to just give a one-time donation, go to paypal.me.com, Brad Binkley, and you can do a one-time or monthly donation, or you can just leave a 5-star review that warms my heart. I read those and they make me feel very good, and they are very motivating, and I appreciate them. And if you're listening on audio only, don't skip the ads. Just let the ads play through. When we were on WSB, it was 90 minutes of show and 90 minutes of dick pill ads. This is like 5 minutes of ads for 2.5, 3 hour shows. You're getting a better deal here. Just let the ads play through, and that helps out as well. Thank you guys. You guys are great. Thanks for all the comments in the chats, and we'll do it again soon. Check out Kim's stuff. She has a very optimistic look on reality, very helpful resources, and you guys you'll learn a lot from her. Also very philosophical. So thank you again, Kim, for going to the protest with me. It was very cool. Bye, JC. See you guys next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thanks for watching.